Hey, pro nerds, it's me, Iggy, and I'm here with you on this live stream version of the Project Nerd Film Festival. That's right, it's Project Nerd Film Festival 2023. We're here for WebFest. We've got a truncated, short little festival for you today. We're going to show you some web series. We're going to show you a podcast. We're going to talk about the award winners from yesterday's Project Nerd Film Festival. We've got so much going on today in such a short amount of time, but we're excited. Well, did you see us yesterday? Were you here in Westminster? Did you join us for the film festival? I hope you did. We sold almost 40 passes, which is awesome. Might sound small, but we're a small film festival. Great turnout. We had a lot of filmmakers show up as well. More importantly, we got to showcase some incredibly talented artists and their films, their projects, their web series, all the works. It's fantastic. We had featured 7 blocks yesterday from 10:30 till 10 at night. So 10:30 in the morning till 10 at night. All kinds of films, well over 30. And again, we'll get to those winners here shortly. Project Nerd Film Festival is our annual film festival, if you're not familiar, here in Westminster, Colorado, where we're headquartered. But we do so much at so many other events. I'm expecting, whether you're tuning in live now or maybe later, some of you might be new to Project Nerd due to you checking out because of some of the directors or filmmakers or series people that sent you our way. So I'm gonna give you a quick little introduction into what Project Nerd is.
You'll have to watch the episode.
Let's get scratching. 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 Let's get scratching.
Internet, we're gonna go ahead and before somebody gets hurt, we're gonna need to go.
Did Project Nerd make that?
That's us. That's Project Nerd. For those of you that know us and have seen us, you've probably seen a number of that content over the years. Some of our TV shows in production, our web series, our podcasts, and of course, all the live things we do at events, which we'll talk about more later. But for many of you, the film festival is new. We partnered with the wonderful Colorado Festival Productions last year to help them with their Boulder Film and Brew Festival. This year, we broke free, brought it down to Westminster on our own, and gave it some Project Nerd flair as we do. And again, we saw a lot of excellent entries, and we gave out some awards. Stay tuned. All here for the next few hours. We've got couple web series for you that are incredible, including one that has won the award for best web series. Unfortunately, our third web series, if you've seen the schedule on our website, did not send over their video in time, so we do not have that one. But if you're able to find it, it is PBS's Your Democracy, and we hope you can check out some of those episodes. We will be featuring Good Morning News and, of course, Like in Movies. What did we do yesterday? Well, we did all kinds of stuff, and we hung out at the wonderful and beautiful and amazing Origin Hotel here in Westminster. I tried to find video of that venue before we got started today. There's really no video out there of it. There is an awesome video from our community now, though, of the Red Rocks Origin, closer to the Red Rocks Hotel and Amphitheater, or Red Rocks Amphitheater. It is the Red Rocks Hotel. And definitely encourage you to check that one out, too. These are very fantastic boutique hotels. Incredible. The staff here at the Westminster one, shout out to you guys. You all were phenomenal, took care of us, took care of the filmmakers. And of course, Right next door and attached to them was Tattered Cover Bookstore. That's where our crew set up and did some interviews with these filmmakers. So stay tuned to our YouTube and our website to see some of those interviews coming up. We do have a few interviews for you today that we'll be showing. Of course, Jason Trost of the FP for Evs sat down with our own Dylan Loper. We do have a comment video about the works of The Path of the Greys from that filmmaker, Joshua, and so much more, as I mentioned. But first, before I go any further, I'd be remiss if I didn't talk about the contributors to this. So first off, it takes a lot to put together a film festival. And more importantly, when we had around 100 films or projects set our way, because some of them were series and web series and things of that nature, it takes a lot of manpower to edit or to get that down to a single day schedule specifically. So huge shout out to Sarah Murphy, who leads the crew on that side for the screeners. Dane Michael, who is promoting a movie of his own this weekend. So go check that out. Did a phenomenal job getting through that. Huge movie fan. Our own Dylan Loper as well. And then, of course, Matt Fuyon, who don't miss his event, OCon Expo, coming to Omaha in July. Those four, many thanks for helping us get through those movies, checking that all out. They are crucial. New stream, who dis? Well, that's why I was explaining to you who this was. So thank you, Lady Raven, for a little fun there. But not just the screeners. We had our staff. We had a wonderful team present yesterday. Aaron and Evie helping up the front of the house. Orion running the projector. No mistakes, no problems. Great audio all across the board. Fantastic job. And of course, Leah and Ryan holding down the interviews and the tech side of things. Wonderful crew. Thanks to all of them. Thanks to the faces that we saw come out. I saw some familiar faces as always. They're going to get a verbal shout out. Emily and Mike, love you guys. Always showing up to our stuff to support us. Some great fans too. We had a gentleman catch every single block that was so happy to and eager to talk with us after every block. A few other people show up and a couple walk-ins, as it's a great area there in that new downtown Westminster, again, where the Origin Hotel is. All right, I've got to talk about it first before we go any further. I told you about our screeners and our staff on site, but of course, sponsors, they're important. They made this happen. I'm really excited to show you those companies that supported us. Just many others too. A few people sent us donations through our Inventive box office portal. So you can still do that actually if you want to. I'm always happy for money, as we want to do Project Nerd Film Festival next year. Plus a few extra things. We'll get around to announcing those down the road though. But in the meantime, I want to talk more about our films that showed yesterday. So we had a number of films, again, that were great. A few of them ineligible for win. So I want to cover those first. Of course, we love Meeting MacGuffin from Katya Plate. My son was clever enough to catch in the middle of that. I've never known. We've known Katya for a while. Hopefully Katya is watching live or down the road. We showed Meeting MacGuffin to kick off the whole thing. That was our first short film. Great series of films with environmental awareness. I'm all over my words today. And we showed that feature. It's very, I would say, vintage Tim Burton-like. I know Tim Burton's polarizing at some points, but high level Tim Burton, it has that feel to it. Really enjoy it. It's been made for a few years, so it's award ineligible, so it didn't show up and won't show up in any announcements here for the awards, but it's won many awards, so we definitely encourage you to go check it out. Additionally, we had 3 fan films that we made the tough decision to make them award ineligible. One of them was Almost Home Alone, which pretty much gives it away of what that's a fan film dedicated to. And then we had 2 Star Wars fan films, The Path of the Greys and the Last Trial of Star Wars Collateral Story. These films look like Lucasfilm made them. They were phenomenal in every sense of the way. And I am really excited about how the reception that we had for these 2. Almost Home Alone was perfect for people our age, as we was a group of guys about our age that kind of recreated Home Alone in a brewery. It was really funny. And then, of course, as I mentioned, the 2 Star Wars movies, original stories. They're fan films inspired by it. But you know what? I'm going to let Josh talk about his own movie. And of course, this is the one video I didn't queue up. So I'm going to stall you for a second while I pull that video up. again to let Josh talk about his film. Let's get there. Oh, here we go. All right. Once more, Path of the Greys.
Hello, my name is Joshua Vantoff, and I'm the director of the Star Wars fan film The Path of the Greys. And I'm the guy that you just saw get killed by his own apprentice. Now, what kind of a Grey master gets killed by his own apprentice? Maybe he wasn't a true master, and his apprentice was. Or maybe he wasn't a true Grey, and his apprentice was. Or perhaps it's the other way around. It's up to you to decide. Because with this film, both the writer and I wanted to make you think. To make you question the ways of the Jedi and the Sith, and to make you wonder what the right path of the Force is. It was exciting to make this film and to dive into the universe. And also to introduce new Force abilities and of course a new weapon, the Light Nunchaku. And when it comes to lightsabers, normally I prefer to separate directing from acting for my film projects. But I didn't want to give up the opportunity to fight with a lightsaber. Little did I know how much of a headache it would give me in the editing, but that's another story. I'm thrilled that my film is being screened at this film festival in Colorado, one of my favorite states, and I wish I could have been there, but I'm not, hence this video. I hope to see you next time in the future, and thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed my film.
Joshua, again, Path of the Greys. Check it out if you can find it online. And of course, the other Star Wars fan film was The Last Trial, a Star Wars collateral story. Both, I mean, blew my mind. I watched them multiple times ahead of the film festival as we were screening, talked about them to all my friends leading up to it. And again, we made the difficult choice not to give any Star Wars fan films awards. So that's the only reason we couldn't present them with awards. Otherwise, I promise you, they would have been talked about further throughout this podcast. So, Project Nerd Film Festival 2023 at the Origin Hotel in Westminster. That's what we're talking about today on our Project Nerd Webfest live stream. Here in about 15 minutes, I'm going to kick off an hour-long block, almost an hour-long block of some web series and all the episodes of Good Morning News this season, as well as season 3 of Like in Movies. Before we do that, I'll obviously give you the best web series winner announcement, which I'm excited to do there too. But much like the web series, the pilots category was loaded. That's right. We had 4 TV pilots that were selected. We had many more sent to us, a couple that had merit that we just couldn't find time for. But these 4 stood above the rest, and all 4 of them received votes from our screeners and our audience in these awards. So before I get to the winner, I do want to talk to you a little bit about, give you some transparency on how we chose the winners at this year's Project Nerd Film Festival. People are always like, well, how's that win? Actually, my own wife was like, I don't understand what the spreadsheet is that you have right here. So I wanted to break that down for you. When people submit a film to the Film Fest, they submit it through a portal. Typically, Film Freeway seems to be the most popular. So you aspiring filmmakers, get a Film Freeway account, set up there, start sending to film festivals everywhere. We have our screeners go through and at the minimum have 2 to 3 watch. We try to get 3 in. There are some late screeners sent in that can only get a couple of viewers. And on a 10-point scale, those movies are given a score. We keep that average score and we add that to our ending ballot. We then also send out a digital ballot to our screeners, our 4 and 5, including me, who get to take votes on all the different categories that we had predetermined. And then when the audience is watching, they're each given a ballot at the film festival to where they can rank in the films in the film blocks or even just check their favorite ones throughout the day. We take all those votes, put them together for a final score, and then each project can only win 1 award. So therefore, if they seem score high in multiple awards or things of that nature, we give them 1 award and give the other high scorers that award. So therefore, we end up with 7 fantastic films, all winning, and the filmmakers were notified overnight. And we're going to, again, as I said, announce that today. The 4 pilots, where I was starting, as we started out with, were The Quest from New Zealand, which was fantastic. Or I'm sorry, it was Australia. And then we had our student film pilot, which was done right here in Colorado. Then we had Lost the Lead, a video game theme pilot, also done here in Colorado. and then Conspiracy's Case, The Wasp Woman, done here in Colorado. These 4 pilots, seriously, all of them had extreme merit. I encourage you to go dig them out. Go to our website, get those titles, those filmmakers' names, and go watch them, as they were all extremely close in the voting there. Our winning film pilot, actually, as we're going to get to that right now, is... Oh my goodness, did not all the images load? I am just not prepared today. Wow. Killing it in this early live stream. Let me get there real quick. This is just building the suspense. That's what I'm doing. I'm doing this on purpose for those of you watching, because you're wondering who won the Best Pilot Award. No telling if this is the last image that I'm not gonna have ready or not. But our Best Pilot went to Lost the Lead this year. Lost the Lead was a video game concept with people walking out of the screening saying, that is a series I would love to watch. Our streamers giving our screeners, excuse me, giving it the highest score of our pilots. Conspiracy Case, The Wasp Woman coming in right behind it, as that one is another one, again, satirical, like deadpan humor. That was fantastic too. But Lost the Lead, congratulations to that crew and team for winning Project Nerd Film Festival's 2023 Best Pilot here at the Project Nerd Film. I already said Project Nerd. I'm just saying it again. But anyways, Lost the Lead. Go find that, check it out. Tell your local providers you want to see more of it, or so that way maybe it can get picked up somewhere. But a fantastic show. Congratulations to that crew. We absolutely loved it. And hopefully you'll be seeing more of it down the road. All right. We're talking Project Nerd Film Festival constantly, but you're like, hey, I'm tuning into you guys because I've seen you at other events. And you have your own event? Well, yes, we have our own event. But that's what I want to talk about right now is other events. We are happy to be part of basically as many events as we can. And we show up often to support others. So basically what I'm going to do real quick is give you a little tour into what we do to support other events. Awesome. So that's our event services team, living it up all across the country. We love coming out. If you have an event of your own, we're happy to help you. We do also a lot of commercial work behind the scenes, such as branding, little commercial work, editing. But of course, we'll help you on site. And the goal with Project Nerd Film Festival was to bring that magic into our own event. And I think we did so yesterday, and we're going to continue to do so in years to come and build on it and make it bigger. So before we go any further, I think it's important that we talk about our best web series winner, since we're going to show you some web series. Again, we had a number of entries in web series. Web series are a little more tough to judge, as they, we might get a single episode entry, we got a full season entry, things of that nature. The screeners did a phenomenal job of breaking it down to a few that we thought were fantastic. One, unfortunately, that won't be showing today is something from PBS, actually. It's called Your Democracy, in very relevant to topics of today's world. They broke down one in a very neutral, clear way about the Supreme Court and how it works and how it's supposed to check and balance the other branches of the government. It was a pretty awesome episode. Would have been great to show it to you guys today. Unfortunately, they didn't send us over a video copy to get, so you can head out and probably find it online. I did find a number of other of their Your Democracy episodes online as well. So much more to check out besides just that one episode. The two big ones we did get that we're going to show you multiple episodes today of here in just a few minutes is Good Morning News out of London, or the UK, excuse me. That was some deadpan kind of just unique and nerdy humor. And then Like in the Movies, which is also on brand for us because Like in the Movies is, well, people being in the movies. And that one's from Japan. So both international submissions, and we were super excited to have them on board. Unfortunately, due to the time difference, we weren't able to get them on today. Both the teams from both are sorry that they miss you. And really, are looking forward to this new audience being able to check them out. So let's talk about it first. I keep talking about both of them, but which one won? It was another close race here too, but our screeners fell in love with Lycan movies. It was absolutely fantastic. A great concept of a group of people acting out like they're in the movies. And again, you'll see their season 3 here in just a short bit. So congratulations to our best web series winner, Lycan Movies. But again, check out all the official selections as they were fantastic and all have tremendous merit. So you know our best pilot winner, you know our best web series winner. I am tired. I mean, you're tired of hearing my voice. So I know we're a few minutes early, but I'm going to kick us off, head us on over to some best web series entries. But let's kick it off with a word from one of our sponsors.
What's up, everybody? This is Ming Chen from AMC's Comic Book Men, and this is Project Nerd.
Good morning, and welcome to the first ever episode of Good Morning News, the new morning news show where we tell you what's happening in the news. My name's James.
My name's Gabe.
And today, together, we're going to tell you about the news every week. Can you believe it?
I can't.
Our first item of news today is that the local library will be giving out free books all week for underprivileged children to promote national literacy levels. Gabe, do you know how to read? Okay. The library's hours are 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. Monday through Friday, and you can find us there this Wednesday getting our read on.
I'll be getting my read on.
You know, Gabe, I actually heard a rumor from the city council that they're installing a new dog park behind the library.
Oh, it's about time. Local residents say there's a sewer man wandering the streets and under the streets. What do you think?
A sewer man? What do you mean by that?
I mean that there's a man in the sewers. I don't know if that's where he's originally from, but he's there now.
Our best investigators are out in the field right now trying to find out more about this sewer man. Now, I don't know about you, Gabe, but I don't believe in no ghosts.
I don't think anyone mentioned a ghost at any point during that story.
Sewer man, real or fake? You decide. For now, old Gabe and I think you ought to keep your dogs inside locked up at night. Whether it's a sewer man or not, you never know what's going to come out of those drains. Before we get into our final segment of the day, we'd like to take a minute to thank our sponsors for making Good Morning News possible. First, we'd like to thank the library. Next, we'd like to thank Murphy's Hardware for providing us with our great set design. Don't you just love it, Gabe?
I do. I also love Murphy's Hardware.
I mean, when I see these flags, it just makes me want to go. Our third story for the day is about a hardware store that residents say disappeared. The store in question, Murphy's Hardware.
The same one that's sponsoring us?
Beats me. Sounds like they got a couple screws loose. We'd once again like to thank our sponsors, Murphy's Hardware, for making this show possible. I sincerely hope you've enjoyed the first episode of Good Morning News with James.
And Gabe.
And we hope you'll join us next week for updates on what's happening in your city. More on the Sewer Man next week.
Stay tuned.
Stay tuned for that.
Stay tuned.
And we'd once again like to thank everyone for making this possible, especially our studio intern, Michael. And with that, we're signing off. Thanks so much for joining us, and we'll see you next week. Until then,
good night, News.
Good night, News. So, I mean, what do we do next? I mean, the Sewer Man? Like, what do we do?
I don't know. I just made that up.
I know, it's fucking crazy. I thought I just kind of went with it. You made that up.
I mean, I just thought, it's not like that. It's just a thing, Like,
I know.
I'm embarrassed about
Listen.
it.
Can we just... Let's just go. I need to put it in my head. There you go. Good morning, and welcome back to another episode of Good Morning News, the show where every morning we bring you the news. Once again, my name's James.
Good morning.
And that's Gabe, and today we've got a whole gaggle of new news for you this morning.
Not unlike a gaggle of geese.
We've got a brand new segment to debut for you today, and we're very excited about this one.
We sure are, James. We're going to be trying all sorts of different exotic ice cream flavors every single day.
Which is why today, we want to bring you the very first episode of The Daily Scoop.
Roll it.
Roll it.
Roll it.
Ice cream. We want ice cream. Ah! Let's see today's flavors.
Wow.
First up, we have vanilla. Have you ever had vanilla?
I can't say I have, James.
Look how good it looks. That looks pretty good. After you.
Oh, you go first, I think.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty good.
Oh boy. I can't wait to dig into this ice cream.
It's kind of like, you know what it kind of tastes like? A little like vanilla. You should try it.
Oh, I'll try it. It's fine.
Yeah, it's alright.
fine.
It's nothing special. It's like a 6.
6.
Yeah, I think we're feeling like a 6.
Probably like a 6 out of 10.
Okay, well, you know what they say. Where there's one ice cream, there's more ice cream. I think we should go for chocolate.
Ooh. That looks really good.
I think you should go first on this one.
Oh, James.
Yeah,
You're always saying the darndest things.
Let us know how it is.
Bottoms
After
up.
you.
It's fine.
All right.
Begin, my friend.
Okay.
Hmm?
Oh. I'd say that's like a 9. That was
Okay. Yeah. No. Not 9 out of 10.
that's a 9. I think that's all we got for today's episode of the Daily Scoop. Thanks for tuning in.
Thanks for tuning in.
And we really recommend it. Bye.
Ice cream.
Oh, that was some good ice cream, huh?
That was some really good ice cream.
Say, Gabe. Yeah, James? If you'll recall our last episode of Good Morning News, local residents were making complaints about the sewer man.
Ooh.
And if you ask me, I still think that's a load of baloney.
Well, James, I think that there's
Actually, local sewer believers have put together a police sketch of what they say this sewer man looks like, and we're here as the news to have a look. Now, I don't know about you, Gabe, but I don't know about this. I mean, I think this is just some kid's art project.
Where'd you get this?
Can I see it one more time?
Sure.
God, I mean, like, I don't know. Maybe he is real. I mean, weirder things have happened. It's not like, I guess it's not impossible. I don't like to believe that he's real. I don't like thinking that there's a sewer man in this. Like, that's weird. That's scary. I mean, I have a dog. I have 2 dogs. I don't. It's like, it's just weird, man. Do you hear like music, Gabe? Gabe, do you hear that? Well, I mean, I think it's been a busy week, but we'll be back next week with more news. So you just stay tuned for that.
Interesting that this is a weekly show when we have a segment called the Daily Scoop.
Well, Gabe, I think that's all we got for this episode. So have a nice night out there at home. Keep your dogs inside. And with that, we'll see you next week. And until then, have a good morning.
All right, folks, that's Good Morning News web series submitted to us. I think earlier I said it was overseas, but it is from the United States. Pretty funny guys right there. Plenty of deadpan humor. They have quite a few episodes out. We'll come back to them a little bit later, but we're going to mix it up some here and get you into our other web series submission, the one that did win Best Web Series, Like in Movies. This one is from across the pond, I guess, as they say, but the other pond, it's from Japan. Like in Movies. We're excited to share it with you. One quick shout out. Wrong slide. There we go. One quick shout out to our sponsors there again for making all of this possible. But once more, let's take you over to Like in Movies.
あ、いややっぱいいや。
何気になるじゃん。リンチの新作情報とか。
いや、リンチじゃなくて
ハネケン。あ、誰でんの？ミシェル・フランコ。あ、よかったから。ケビン・スミス。
じゃなくて彼女ができた。
ミノルに彼女が？嘘。
いや、嘘じゃなくて。
もしかしてラブドール的な？大丈夫。いつでも相談して。
違うわ。
友達になるから。
普通の女子。
そうなんだ。
何どうした？
なんかこう気持ち悪い想像が頭の中攻めてくるからディフェンスしてんの。
ディフェンスってフォーリングダウンのロバート・ディバラかい。
まあいいわ。よかったじゃん。おめでとう。
いや、それがさ、そうでもないのよね。なんか浮気してるみたいなんだよ。
誰か待ってるのかな。
そうは見えないけど時間も気にしてなさそうだし。
だよね。
時間潰してるんでしょ。
なんで？
知らないわよ。ていうかなんでミノルの女が浮気してるかどうか私たちが見なきゃいけないの。
だから別に来なくていいって言ったじゃん。
だって気になるじゃん。
公園マニア
だったとしてもミノルにしたら上出来じゃん。フカちゃん。
そう
だってミノルと彼女がベッド入ってるとこ想像したら。
やめて。
いや、いいじゃん。友達のエッチ想像するくらい。ミノルただの友達でしょ。エッチも想像できないなんて一体何のための友達なの。
ミノルは違うの。
そう。やっぱ変なのあんたら。
3日に分けて後つけてみたんだけど誰とも会ってなかったよ。
マジで？誰かと頻繁に電話したり LINE したりしてなかった？
それがね、全然しないのよ彼女。一度だけ長電話してた。
やっぱり。
いや、チタンについて話してて、主人公アレクシアと車とのラブシーンで車の方はその気だったのか、それともあれはアレクシアの一方的な行為だったのかって
それ俺だ。一緒にチタン見てさ、その後2人で盛り上がって
うわ、どうでもいい。とにかく誰とも会わずにブラブラしたり一人で公園行ってただけだったから。はい、浮気調査完了。
分かった。気づかれたんだよ、アミ。ふーちゃんマジで勘鋭いから
さ
浮気を疑うってことは頭に虫飼ってるみたいなもんだからね。 その虫は最初は小さいんだけど、みるみるうちに大きくなって取り返しのつかないことになるわけ。
インセプションみたいな感じじゃない？
ああ、一度植え付けられたアイデアは肥大化するってコブ言ってた。
はあ？
大丈夫、通じてるからちゃんと。
いや、私が言いたいのはね、その浮気を疑う虫が大きくなりすぎる前に直接本人に聞いた方がいいと思うってこと。
いや、美穂ちゃん大丈夫。パラサイトなんて飼ってないから。美穂ちゃんと亜美が調べてくれたし、これで浮気の疑惑は完全に消滅。ほんとありがとね。
まずいね。もう相当でかくなってるわ、虫。
ふーちゃん、あのさ、面白かったね、地下室の変な穴。いやー、まさかの展開っていうかね、
アミって誰？
アミ、アミ、誰だっけ？
知らない。寝言で言ってたから。ラン、アミ、ランって。
あー、アミ、友達よ友達。たまに映画見に行く？いや、ごくたまにしか会わないから忘れてた。いたいた、そんなやつ。
友達って女友達ってこと？
そうだよ。
へえ。私異性の友達いないからさ、どんな関係なのかなって思って。
いや、異性の友達ぐらい普通でしょ。ほら、映画でもよく出てくるし。
出てきた？
ほら、恋人の予感のハリーとサリーとか。
ああ、ハリーとサリー結局付き合うけどね。
じゃあほら、恋しくてのキースとワッツとか。
あれも付き合うよね。
じゃあスパニッシュアパートメントのグザビエとイザベル。
あれはイザベルがビアンでグザビエを拒絶しただけでしょ。
スパニッシュアパートメントのグザビエとウェンディ。
あの二人は続編で付き合うよね。
スパニッシュアパートメントのグザビエとマルティーヌ。
あの二人はもともとカップルだからね。
グザビエ誰とでも付き合ってんじゃねえよ。どうなってんだよフランス人。
見物の女と会うの？
そうなっちゃったのよ。もうどうしよう。
スタイリングが必要ね。うん、いいと思う。完璧だわ。
これが女友達コーデ？
うん、男を奪わない。いや、むしろ奪えない。火もて女友達コーデね。これだったら絶対嫉妬されないと思うわ。これもつけてみて。なし。あり。なし。あり。なし。あり。やっぱありね。あとこれも
ガム？
男の前でガム噛む女は論外だから保険ね。一度に3枚以上ね。噛むのが疲れるくらい入れるのよ。
アミさん、はじめまして、風花です。
こんにちは、アミです。布ってよかったじゃん、こんな可愛い彼女が。
なんて？
よかったじゃん、こんな可愛い彼女さんできて。
まあ、ありがとう。
アミちゃん、なんか写真よりも全然柔らかい感じで安心した。友達になりそう。 ちゃん、今日は来てくれてありがとう。
こっちこそありがとうございました、風花さん。
もうふーちゃんでいいから。
ふーちゃん、ありがとう。
じゃあアミ、またな。
あ、あみちゃん、もうみのると二人っきりで会わないで。みのるは約束してくれたからお願いね。ね。行こう。
アミ、待って。アミ。
もう二人っきりで会わないって約束したんでしょ。
ふーちゃん昔女の子と付き合ってたみたいなんだよ。
それが？
それ聞いたら彼女とその元カノがイチャイチャしてる映像が頭から離れなくて。
もうそんなの全然珍しいことじゃないじゃない。
よくあるの？アミ付き合ったことあるの？女子と？
いや、ないよ私は。だけど風花ちゃんがバイセクシャルってことでしょ。あ、それかアメリカ映画によくあるフェーズってやつ。ほら、氷の微笑で精神科医のジーン・トリプルホーンとシャロン・ストーンが。
はい、そこネタバレ。
自分ネタバレとかあんまり気にしないんで。
じゃあバイセクシャルか氷の微笑ってことで。じゃあ。
いや、女性だけじゃないのよそれが。その前は動物だったんだって。動物園の虎と恋に落ちて毎日通ってたらしいよ。
虎と？気持ち悪い気持ち悪い。それって変なフェチってことでしょ。ナイト・オン・ザ・プラネットのロベルト・ベニーニと羊みたいな。
いや、そういうプレイ的なことじゃなくて恋なんだって。
ワイルド、私の中の獣のアニヤと狼みたいな関係ってこと？
そう、狼子供の雨と雪的な。
いや、でもまあよくあるんじゃない？そういうの。映画は現実を映す鏡っていうし。
で、虎の前が
もう聞きたくない。
じゃあ別にいいよ。
何？いや、聞くよ。何？
ふーちゃん一時期西武園遊園地にハマってたらしくて一目惚れだったんだって。
どういうこと？
バイキング？
だってバイキングって乗り物。
そう、アトラクション。
そうそうそう、それふざけすぎでしょ。
そう？恋する遊園地見た？あれの主人公のジャンヌが恋するのってジャンボっていう名前のアトラクションじゃん。
あれって実話ベースだっけ？
そう。やっぱり別れた方がいいのかな。
別れた方がいいっすね。
そっか、そうだよな。だってこのまま付き合ってもアトラクションに彼女奪われるのかと思ったら一緒にディズニーランドや USJ 行けないし。
動物園も無理っすよ。
いや、行けばいいじゃん。
アミは簡単に言うけどね。
いや、さ、付き合ってる女の過去を気にして別れるなんてバカらしいよ。あともったいない。チェイシング・エイミー見たでしょ。ベン・アフレックの失敗から世の男たちは何も学ばないわけ。
ベン！
分かった。エキスパートに聞きに行きましょう。
エキスパート？物と付き合ったことありますか？
物っていうか遊園地のアトラクション的なやつ。
バイキング、セブンの。
ああ、ないわ。ないけどこの先絶対ないとは言い切れないわね。確かなことはそれは私たちにもあなたたちにも誰にもわからないってこと。
私たちにも？
そう、
ことセクシャリティに関してはいつどんな扉が目の前で開くか誰にもわからない。もし扉が開いたらできることは2つあるの。思い切ってドアの中に飛び込むか、ドアの前で一生グズグズするかね。
私キャディラックと付き合ったことあるわ。
キャデラックと付き合ったとかチタンかよ。まあデートに遊園地と動物園を避けた方がいいな。牧場もやめとくか。あとサーカスと、あとデパートの屋上と。どうした？
ごめん、私先行くわ。
え？おいアミ。
もしもうミノルに飽きたなら言ってあげてよ。アミちゃん、どうしてここに？
どうしてここにってなんか映画のセリフみたい。
つけてきたの？ミノルに頼まれたんでしょ？
違う、今日は。
今日はって何？
この滑り台のこと好きなの？
はあ？何言ってんの？あなたもなの？
は？
ライバルってわけね。
いや、私は。
もうやったの？え？この滑り台ともうセックスしたのかって聞いてんのよ。
してません。
本当に？え？じゃあなんでこんなとこいんの？
あ、いや、私はあっちのブランコが気になってて。
まあ悪くないけどね。
で、どうすんの？
好きなんだ、ミノルのこと。
好きとかじゃないから。
じゃあ何なのよ。
好きとかじゃなくて、もっともっと深いところでつながってんの、私とミノルは。なんかそうやって何でも恋愛とかしょうもない関係に落とし込もうとする人大嫌い、私。ミノルには幸せになってもらいたいし、ミノルが好きだって言うから仕方ないと思ってたけど、あなたがこんな滑り台とミノルのこと天秤にかけるつもりでいるなら絶対やめないから、ミノルと映画見に行くの。
アホーイセクシー。
どう？ふーちゃん元気してる？
それがね、別れたのよ。
嘘？似合ってたのに。まあ似合ってはなかったけどいい子だったのに。ごめん、似合ってはなかったしそんなにいい子でもなかったけど、どっちかっていうとビッチに近かったけど。
おい、言い過ぎだわ。
そ
いや、そうでもないな。他に好きな人ができたって言って振られたわけだし。
人ね。それよりさ、鈴鹿さんが言ってたことを信じる？
え？
ほら、いつどんな扉が目の前で開くかわからないって話。
ああ、信じるよ。
本当？
考えてみればスピルバーグもそう言ってるしね。
は？スピルバーグ？
スピルバーグ映画って光るドアの前に立つ子供っていうモチーフが繰り返し出てくるじゃん。
ああ、未知との遭遇とか？
E.T. とかポルターガイストとか。
ポルターガイストはトビー・フーパー監督じゃん。え、そういうこと？
そうなのよ。鈴鹿さんが言った通り、どんなドアが開くかわからないけど怖がってちゃ前に進めないってメッセージなのよ、あれ。
スピルバーグ映画にそんなセクシュアリティのメッセージあったんだ。
そうだから、どんなドアが開こうがワクワクすればいいし、開いたドアの種類によって差別したりいがみ合ったりするとかバカらしい。何？
なんでもない。
しかしスピルバーグは深いな。
気づかなかったくせに鈴鹿さんの話聞くまで。
チキショー、帰って見直そう。激突から。
刑事コロンボ放送の資格からです。
あれは映画じゃないから。
はあ、ミノルはそれでいいんだ。
いいんです。
あ、そう。それで本当の映画かって言うかな。
映画じゃないな。
That was Like in Movies, our best web series from the 2023 Project Nerd Film Festival. Welcome back from that entertaining break. It's me again, Iggy. I'm a little less entertaining, a little congested if you could hear it there. It has been rainy and beautiful, but it's so green here in Colorado. I could use that rain in other places. But we have a lot to cover still. I'm so excited to take you down the road, talk a little bit about the rest of our winners from the Project Nerd Film Festival. And of course, we have our interview with Jason Tross from the FP, and then our very own Two Guys, One Film talking Avatar as part of the Project Nerd Web Fest. Before we go any further, though, we have to talk about him. He just turned 50, the one and only Dark Lord of Project Nerd, Gallo Gutierrez. Happy 50th birthday, brother. Had a birthday party this weekend. Sorry we had to miss it. Again, 50. That man is old. Don't let the youth on the screen fool you. He is old. Happy 50th, Gallo. Great to see him celebrating birthday. Hopefully I'll see him soon in person as we head over to probably Omaha. So we'll see. All right. Once again, I do want to give one more shout out to our wonderful screeners who helped pick these winners we're going to talk about. Sarah, Dane, Dylan, Matt, and I guess myself. I screened them too, so I helped with the winners. And of course, the wonderful audience we had yesterday. It was great to see a number of people participating, handing in ballots. We got a good stack of ballots. Let's see here. I got them actually right here. Yeah, like I'm holding them backwards so you can't see, but there's quite a few ballots here. Yeah, exciting. Once again, those were tallied up with our screeners ballots and the scores from screening. We had a great time there. And another shout out for Gallo as we're working through here. All right, let's take a little tour down our winners row. Once again, we had our best web series Like in Movies that you just watched season 3 of. Really fun episode. It was like chasing Amy with all kinds of call outs to other films. One of our favorites, one of Dane's favorites, one of our screeners. Of course, we talked about our best pilot, which was Lost the Lead, and a great field of pilots at our film festival. Lost the Lead taking home that trophy, though. Where we want to go to next, though, is our best animated film, post-apocalyptic. We didn't originally have an animated category, but this film received so much love from the audience at the film festival. We definitely had to recognize Moore's post-apocalyptic. It was a post-apocalyptic post person. So it was a play on words there that I'm going to be honest, I didn't even think about until she mentioned it at the film festival. Moore was present with some fans, and we've got an interview with Moore coming in the next few weeks over on our YouTube channel and projectnerd.com. Congratulations, Post-Apocalyptic, again, best animated film from the 2023 Film Festival. That was great. We had almost all short films. We had a couple features we showed throughout the day, but almost all short films, and they were all great. Again, we're very picky about what we let into our film festival, and we selected number of phenomenal things. We had a number of great things that didn't even make it because of our time crunch, which we hope to resolve next year. But we had to determine what one best short film was. And one film that kept coming up across all the ballots was kind of a sci-fi, almost Mad Max inspired. I'm not claiming it was because they never actually confirmed that with me, but it feels that way. Just a great twisted kind of short film. And that was Roller. That's right. Showing in our early evening block of short films was Roller. Fans loved it. Screeners loved it. Congratulations, Roller. Best short film from our 2023 film festival. That was taken care of. By the way, I'm going to say Like in Movies was Yo Komaya. Best animated film, Moore McKenna. Best Series Pilot, done by Michael Hyan Johnson. And then, of course, Roller by Greg Hunter and Craig Smith. Number of other people involved in all of these projects, but those are your filmmakers there. We're going to head on over to the Colorado Craft Cinema Award, something that wasn't that they give out for the Colorado Festival Production Film Festivals. We definitely held on to it for our own film festival because we want to recognize and honor those making movies right here in Colorado. And something that is blowing up across the festival circuit right now was absolutely hilarious, fantastic done. All kinds of people involved in that project. That's Demon for Hire. That's right. That's Puppet right there on that poster. You want to see this film. It was great. So Project Nerd Film Festival's Colorado Craft Cinema Award for 2023 went to Demon for Hire. Demon for Hire by Travis. That was Travis Herman. Excuse me. I didn't want to mispronounce that last name there. So that was fantastic as well. It's also a short film. Check it out. And then, of course, our audience winner. So this one's completely decided by the audience. Our screeners did like it too, but this was audience choice. And I didn't recognize who directed it until after we were sending out the recognition. But it was Rod Blackhurst, who's setting up for a big film right now. He's done some documentaries you might be familiar with across streaming services. But Rod Blackhurst, Hysteric, a little horror short that fit in very nicely in that same block I think that Roller was in. So our early evening shorts block. Hysteric by Rod Blackhurst. Really good. People came out of that block just talking about it, just really excited about it. Showed up on pretty much every ballot. And again, the ballots from the fans, they could either just check what they liked, one or two items in each, or they could rank them. And Hysteric was definitely mentioned across the board. All right. So again, we've covered 6 of our 7 winners there. I'm going to go back down them again. You're hearing me say it again, but our best pilot was Lost a Lead. Best web series, Lycan Movies. Best animated film, Post-Apocalyptic. Best short film, Roller. Best the Colorado Craft Cinema Award, Demon for Hire. And the Audience Choice Award was Hysteric. Ladies and gentlemen, we've known this guy for a while. We were so happy to have his film submitted to the film festival. And when the screeners got a hold of it, they loved it. Absolutely adored it. I have enjoyed this franchise since the beginning, so I am honored and so excited to be saying this right now that the Project Nerd Film Festival's Best in Show Award went to Jason Trost's FP for Fs. Oh my gosh, audio, crowd cheering, everything like that. I showed at our last block of the night. FP for Fs was, it is mind-bending, satirical. It is fantastic in every sense of the way. It's ridiculous. I mean, in the best way possible, obviously. If you're not familiar, the first FP was released, was done by short, actually, with Jason Trost, Brandon Trost, and of course their sister Sarah Trost was involved. They did the feature film, and it's absurd. It's absolutely absurd. The language, the fact that they're fighting, the two rival gangs are fighting using a beat revelation, which is basically a dance revolution. The F word is used over 250 times in that first movie. And Jason just continued on with the franchise, in each film becoming more fantastically absurd. But really kicked it up a notch for these last 2 installments was he was kind of stuck in 2020 to where he couldn't do much. Painted a room in his house green and started doing green screen. That's what really happened here in the 4th one. So our screeners and our audience fell in love with the unique way this film was made. And just in mostly, almost entirely in one single room. And it was absolutely fantastic. You could catch that on Tubi now, as well as you can go over to Jason Trost's fan page and find his quick links in order to purchase it or rent it across many VOD websites. So again, 2023 Best in Show, FP for Fs. Love it. Absolutely absurd. And in fact, Jason Trost, who's halfway across the world from where I am right now, couldn't be here at the film festival. So he took the time to sit down with our very own Dylan Loper. So I'm going to actually hand that over right now to have Jason Trost kind of talk about FP for Fs and many other things with Dylan's going to give us a little segment actually for his late night show that he's definitely promoting. Let us know if you want to see more of his late night show after this.
Welcome to Dylan Loper Talks to You and Vice Versa, Project Nerd's first late night talk show. I am, of course, Dylan Loper. We've got a fantastic episode tonight. Jason Trost is in the house. But first, let's read today's Garfield. Darn cat. My first and only guest has made movies such as The FP, All Superheroes Must Die, and most recently, FP for EVs. Let's welcome Jason Trost.
Hey, hello.
This will probably have I'll put some in post, some applause here, so we'll just wait for the applause to die down.
Sure.
And there we go. Hi, Jason. Welcome to the show.
Hey, how's it going? Thanks for having me.
Good. Hey, no problem. So you got a new film, FP for EVs came out.
Yeah, I do. It's it's the, I suppose, finale of the FP franchise, but not necessarily the end of the FP universe. I don't know. I don't want to give away too many spoilers, but.
How long have you been working on the most recent one?
Oh gosh, FP4 I started way back, like right before the pandemic began. We started doing FP3 and 4 back to back, which then kind of like changed up the shooting style from it was going to be more practical, and then like as the pandemic became more and more of a real thing, we're like, how about some more green screen? How about some more green screen? Actually, we're just going to do this mostly green screen now because we're essentially quarantining together with like our 4-person crew and just not going out. And then fled the country, moved to Australia, and we've been doing post effects and those for like 2 years during the pandemic here in an apartment, and now I'm free. It's over.
Nice, man. What are you doing in the Sydney, Australia?
My wife, Chai T. Talay, she lives here in Sydney, and we'd always kind of planned to move here, and we were planning for about 6 months to relocate from America, and then right 2 weeks before we were planning to move, the pandemic hit, and we couldn't have picked a better time.
Seriously, that's like damn good timing. All right, like time, peace out.
It was really down to the wire. I remember the last day of shooting, we got a call from Talay's mom, and she's like, if you guys don't leave in 3 days, you're not getting in the country, because they really shut down the borders here, and it was intense. So we had 2 weeks initially after the movie to like pack up our lives and move across the world, and that turned into 3 days, and it was a lot.
Works better on like on a time crunch.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
It's better on that kind of thing.
Packing a house up in 3 days and shipping 2 animals was a lot.
I want to talk about the FP. I recently just watched that, and it was. I don't know if I'm allowed to curse. I know people are going to watch this. I will try my darndest not to curse because it's a fucking problem for me.
Oh, please.
But
it
was pretty fucking sweet, man. Like I just want to know how you did all of that on such like a budget, because it was really good. Like how you got all of these things together, like sets and locations and all that thing. Like how'd you get to that?
Are we talking, which FP are we talking about? FP1?
We'll talk about the first one.
Oh,
yeah, we'll go with FP1.
Going way back. Well, God, it was like 20 years ago at this point. Yeah, it wasn't that long. But it's getting there. I mean, that was just like favors, like, because I grew up in the real life Fraser Park, and it was just a satirical piss take on that town and how the kids acted there. Like, it's pretty much verbatim shining a mirror on that age group. It was very particular, like early 2000s, like kids watching Bad Boys and just thinking, oh,
I was gonna say like
a bunch of white kids, watching their like
yeah.
Bay and Bad Boys and whatever, and like listening to their Dr. Dre and their DMX, and they just kind of took on a persona that wasn't quite theirs. And like, we're gonna
like
street. I'm like, there are no streets, it's dirt roads. Come on, guys.
It took me a bit to understand that. I was like, oh wait, they're like talking like 2000 like white boy gangsters. I'm like, this is brilliant. I love it. Yeah,
definitely a time capsule for that particular time in all of our youth. But yeah, so I grew up there, so obviously I knew a lot of the people and the things. So it's like getting locations and things like that. It was definitely like right for what I knew I had access to at that point. And that's kind of like famously until FP3 and 4 with all this green screen nonsense. I always would write for like something I knew I had. Like, I'm not going to write a movie about a spaceship if I don't have access to one. So it's like, I'm like, well, I got access to like a white trash town and some post-apocalypse looking junk on my dad's property. We'll write something around that. And then the FP was one. And yeah, it's pretty much like everything you see I wrote. And I'm like, well, we have cave walls. My dad got those from some movie he was working on. I guess we can have a cave. Stuff like that you just kind of like build into it with what you have. And I just
work with what you got.
Weird, silly stuff and art shit, and we're cursing, and there you are.
What was like your biggest, I want to say, influence or push to be like, I want to be a filmmaker. I want to try to dabbled in this?
I mean, I just grew up in it, so it was kind of like inevitable. It's in my blood because like my dad works in the film business, my grandparents work in the film business, great grandparents. Like it's just been forever. It's kind of like, you know, someone's like, my dad was a fireman. No, I'm a fireman. Kind of like there wasn't some like aha moment where it's like it was just kind of assumed that I'm just gonna be a part of it because I'm growing up on sets and like everyone in my, you know, orbit at that point in my life worked in the movies. So it's just kind of like, oh well, everyone else works in the movies. I guess I will too. And then I was like, I like making movies. And then you start banging GI Joes together on set in my dad's effects truck and like the VHS camera, and that progressed. I remember the aha moment of like, oh my god, I really want to do that was when I saw Terminator 2 in theaters at 4 years old. And I was just like, holy shit, what is this? And then, yeah, I think that's probably when like I need to make these happen. But I didn't really quite know what that feeling meant until later. But if I had to track it, that would be it.
I mean, that's Cameron at his finest.
Yeah.
He peaked after that one, so it's just like, why bother?
I mean, come on.
Do you think your family would have been disappointed if you went to be like, I don't want to be in the film industry, I want to be a lawyer, or I want to be a firefighter?
Well, I mean, maybe. I mean,
the one to break the chain.
It would have been my life would have been a lot more stable, which I'm sure they might have enjoyed. With an actual, like, you know, 9 to 5, like guaranteed job all the time.
Yep.
Instead of like, oh man, I worked the most intense period you can probably work in your life for 3 months, and I didn't work again for a year. Like that, it's movie business is bizarre.
That's weird. Yeah, you don't really think about that part of the movie business. It's always like that image in your head of like, oh, they're constantly working, they're constantly making movies, but there's, I'm assuming, a lot of downtime.
It can be like if you're like The Rock or something. I'm sure you don't even have a spare minute. But like if you're not The Rock, there is a lot of downtime. And even with me, when I'm making these movies, like, you know, I get to spend about 2 or 3 weeks with my buddies, like shooting it and, you know, prepping, doing all those things, which is great. And then there's like about a year of post where I go home and it's just me and the computer. And, you know, even though like I'm working like a 9 to 5 every day with that on my own, it's still like it can be a very solitary experience at that point. So it's,
yeah.
You know.
Do you edit all your own stuff too? Or?
Yeah. It's just, I have to a point because like the way I write it and shoot it and everything, and like it's because of how I know I'll edit it, because I know like what I have and what I can do. I'm a big proponent of like knowing what I'm going to do with it in the back end instead of just shooting it and seeing what happens. Like there's a degree of that, but like I know what I can get away with rather. Like I know like if I shoot something like that, it'll lead to this. Like I like to kind of compare shooting movies to cooking a bit, because it's like a lot of it, like I find that like the writing process is basically writing your recipe or finding your recipe. And I feel like the shooting process is like gathering your ingredients, and post-production is actually where you cook and make the meal. Because, you know, I feel like post is where a lot of the magic comes in. And, you know, I'm certain people will shoot me on this because like, oh, shooting's the best part. It's so stressful and hard and weird and strange. And it's such a blur, but like you're just trying to gather as many ingredients as you can so you can finesse and cook later when you have the time. And like, I don't know, I feel like when you get to the pro level, 9 out of 10 people will probably give you about the same ingredients, but it's what you do with them when you're cooking that actually makes the movie work. Because like what music you use, how you edit it, what, you know, it takes you, all that is where it comes to life.
So there's going to be, you know, some filmmakers, amateur filmmakers, aspiring filmmakers watching this. What is the best tips and tricks that you personally have learned that you could pass on to people that would help them out?
Yeah, that's a good question. I mean, obviously, there's the one I think is obvious, like listen to your gut. Like when you make these movies, you're going to have a lot of people in your ears being like, you should do this, you should do that. And like, all right, cool. But you have to just stick to it and do what you know you want to do. That's like an obvious one for me. I don't know, be nice to people. There's a lot of people, like they start doing movies and they become just egotistical monsters. Like just remember, like you have a crew of people that are probably your friends and family, and they're donating their time to you. Be nice to them, because the nicer you are to them, the harder they'll work for you. Another one, a big one, I think for me is never hire the best person, hire the person who wants to be there the most. Because I've seen so many times that someone's like, oh my God, we've got the best DP in the world, but he's just a total diva asshole, and it makes the whole set a nightmare. Hire the person who wants to be there the most and put in the most work and loves the project as much as you do. Even if they've never done anything before, you're going to get a much better performance or much better work out of them as a crew member. It's going to be more creative. Everything's going to be better, because there's so many jaded people. Like, don't listen to that. Don't get like the you know, the Hollywood eyes in there and like, oh, we have to use him, he's the best. And it's like, and he cost the most. Now he took 90% of your budget and you have no money to make the movie. But you know, that's a thing. Write for what you know you have. Like I was saying earlier, You know, if you don't have access to a spaceship and you don't know how to build like a miniature one or something, like just don't put it in your movie. If there's a sewer across the street that, you know, is on your dad's property or something, be like, all right, let's make a movie about a sewer. It's, you know, it's those kind of things, like, you know. And a lot of people, they're always like, oh man, when you cast the next movie, let me know. And I'm like, well, I kind of already write the movie for who I know can be in it. They're like my rogues gallery of friends at this point. Because, like, again, that's a surprise. At least when you're making something low budget, it's hard to be like, God, I hope somebody can do this Leonardo DiCaprio performance in this movie. I wrote it for that. I hope we find him. You're probably not in a low budget movie going to find somebody who can do that. So write it for people you know can do certain things. And that's always, you know, helped me at this point. Gosh, what else? What else? Crowdfunding is your friend, obviously. Because whenever you do that thing where it's like, especially now, like trying to recoup your money on low budget movies is so hard that when you're like, oh, we're going to take out a loan for $100,000 and we're going to hit it big. And then it's like, be careful, guys. Try not to spend your own money if you can help it. Don't listen to your producers like, we have to shoot this thing on Red or Alexa and we need to like go rent this camera that's going to cost us $50,000. Like the prosumer cameras, the DSLRs are great now. It's almost indistinguishable. Like, don't listen to someone that says you need to have the best camera. You don't. It's about what you put in front of the camera, not what camera you use. That's a pretty big one.
I like that quote. We'll put that on the bottom of the
There you
screen. Do you want to talk about your new movie you're working on? Are you allowed to?
Yeah, not allowed. I'm probably gonna have a crowdfunder coming out in like a week or two for that. So I guess it's about time to start talking about it a little bit.
Let's get some juicy gossip going on.
It's called The Waves of Madness, and it's definitely Lovecraftian.
Fuck yeah.
It's very loosely inspired by Call of Cthulhu, and it's a kind of a fake one shot where the whole movie is played out like a black and white side-scrolling video game, where it's like the whole thing you just see from a side-scrolling angle. So it's like, you know, what was that war movie, like 1917? Like, all one shot, but it's kind of like that, but from a side-scrolling angle, which will be fun. And it takes place in the middle of the ocean on this cruise ship that goes horribly off course and shit happens.
That's a fucking bonkers idea. So like, okay, I gotta break this down now because I really enjoy this. So like, did you like Wes Anderson it, like cut the ship in half kind of a thing, or what do you use? Like,
I'm building. That's what it's all green screen because it has to be, because I have to build all the sets like levels that all slot and clink together. Like if you pan out, it basically becomes like a Metroidvania map of what the whole ship would be, and all these different little panels of sets that link together with their moving elements. And like, because it's between that, I'm also very inspired with FP3 and 4, but with this one too, like the old PlayStation 1 era, like pre-rendered graphics, make those cool backgrounds where it's like moving Photoshop kind of stuff. I've always liked that.
I was gonna do a lightning round questions, but I already asked you some of these, so we're gonna have to make some of them up to go. It's the Dylan Loper talks to you, vice versa, lightning round. Graphic of lightning or something. We'll figure that out in post.
I'm bad with lightning. See what happens.
All right, lightning round. Right, we already did favorite director. Least favorite director.
Jesus, least favorite director. Oh, that's kind of mean, but let's
go for the cutthroat in this show.
God, man, okay, this is gonna blow my mind because I do have some for sure. I'm just trying to think of something that actually like really upset me. That's a movie. I'm blanking.
Pixar or DreamWorks?
Early Pixar.
Ants or Bug's Life?
Shit, I mean, I used to say Ants when I was a kid because I loved it. It had Stallone in it, but now I feel like Woody Allen would annoy the shit out of me. You know, maybe that's my least favorite director, Woody Allen. Yeah, let's go with that. Let's get back to it. Yeah, fuck Ants.
Fucking second that one. Thank you, sir. Oh yes. Are you a data or data person? How do you say it?
I guess data, because again, going back to James Cameron, how in True Lies, when Charlton Heston says, "Do you have any hot data?"
Taco Bell or Del Taco?
Ooh, it depends. Depends on what my budget is. Depends on what time of the night it is. If I just like want to appreciate some like bad taco, good bad, I'll go to Taco Bell. But if it's like 2 or 3 in the morning, and there's that quantity factor of I need 20 tacos for like 50 cents a piece, we're going Del Taco because I can also slip a cheeseburger in there with fries.
Mug or A&W?
Mug or A&W? Ah, fuck. A&W.
What would you rate this show on a scale of 1 to 2?
2.1.
Ooh, oh, shit. Thank you, sir.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
very generous.
2-1.
Very generous.
You got a 2-1.
FP4EVs. Is that out now?
Yeah, it's out in America. It's coming out like I guess like territory by territory, slowly but surely around the world. Because XYZ is releasing this one, so they've got their whole plan. I'm kind of like just along for the ride. I get an email every once in a while like, we need this for Canada or something.
All right, you're a fan of it.
Send.
I must check it on Prime, right? You can watch it on
Yeah,
Prime.
it's on Prime. It's on everything. It's like Prime, iTunes, Vudu, blah blah blah. It's coming to Tubi eventually, I hear. So
nice.
1
Check
through
it out,
3
people.
are on FP 1 through 3 are on Tubi now. If you want to catch up, and then I get like a dime every time you watch it. So let's do it.
Yeah, go check out FP4EVs. I need to watch the other 3 before I watch this one because I mean I'm sure there's references. Unless it is like an Indiana Jones, can I jump into 4?
You can. With 4 there is a thing at the beginning of the movie that will catch you up.
Oh, sweet. Yeah.
Previously on, but
yeah.
You know, you could watch 2 and 3 and get some more out of it for sure. Because 2, 3, and 4 are more connected. Like 1's kind of like The Hobbit, and then 2, 3, 4 are like the Lord of the Rings of the FP franchise.
Thank you for coming on my very shitty show. I appreciate it.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah. You can check his movie out on Amazon Prime or wherever you can find it.
Yeah, please do.
Google
it.
Google it. It's easy as that, folks. Just
Google it.
fucking Google it. Yeah. But yeah, for Dylan Loper Talks to You and vice versa, I have, of course, Dylan Loper. And we'll see if I'm canceled after this episode. Hopefully see you next time. We don't know.
Good day.
There it is. Dylan Loper Talks to You and vice versa. I like it. I don't think it's canceled. I want more of it. It was fantastic. Great conversation with Jason Trost. And again, FP for EVs was our Best in Show winner. Let's actually switch that over graphic to get that little laurels up there. We're excited to add to their poster. Really exciting. As I mentioned, you can catch the first 3 on Tubi. You can basically buy all of them on any of those on-demand platforms, whether Vudu, Prime, or iTunes. And keep an eye on Tubi for the 4th one to come there for free. As always, go buy these things. Go buy what you can. Go to our programming page. It's still live. Go see what everything showed. And you're like, that looks interesting to me. Go somewhere where you can give these filmmakers their money. Why? So they can make more stuff you like. I don't know if you heard that Jason Trost pitched for that new project. That sounds absolutely ridiculous and bonkers. I love it. And he needs money to make that. So go watch FPs on Tubi and enjoy those. Oh, and here we have a congratulations on winning the prize. I don't know, talking probably to all the winners. I don't know if that was targeted for one or all the winners. Either way, congratulations to everybody. Pretty exciting there. Perfect. Let's take a look though. One thing I want to talk about before we get too far ahead, Project Nerd Film Festival 2024. I love our graphic. Our graphic right there. It's a fun one for next year. We're excited to bring it to you. Talking to the venue already, getting details worked out. So head on over to project-nerd.com where you can visit our Film Fest section and see this year's winners. Catch up with, again, all the programming still listed so you can see everything that showed and go find it online. And then, of course, stay tuned for more details for Project Nerd Film Festival 2024, as well as many other great events we will be having. And one last shout out right here before I kick us into our next segment. Our sponsors, wonderful venue of Origin Hotel and the restaurant Famille. Meow Wolf, thank you so much for all your support. Tattered Cover Bookstore, where we set up to do the interviews. Our very own PN Skate. The OnCon Expo taking place in Omaha, Council Bluffs next year. And of course, Drumbox, finding locations all over the Denver metro area. Just search Drumbox. And, well, I don't know. If you guys had enough of me, maybe you want more Dylan. I don't know. Either way, real quick recap of our winners. I'm not going to take time to pull up all the graphics, but best web series was Like in Movies from Yo Kamaya. Best series pilot lost the lead from Michael Hyan Johnson. Best animated film post-apocalypse, Moore McKinney. Colorado Craft Cinema Award went to Demon for Hire, Travis Hierman and Co. Best short film was Roller by Greg Hunter and Craig Smith. The Audience Choice Award, Hysteric by Rod Blackhurst. and our Best in Show grand prize winner, FP for Evs, courtesy of Jason Trost. 7 fantastic projects, but again, go check out everything we showed at the 2023 Project Nerd Film Festival. If you did join us yesterday, or you're watching this now, or maybe you're watching this after it is aired live, you can comment wherever you're watching it and let us know what you thought about the festivities. Always feel free to ping us on social media to tell us how we can make future events better, maybe how we can add more and make it bigger, better, stronger. What is that? I don't know. The Daft Punk lyrics there. I don't want to get us kicked off the platform. Oh, Facebook will pull this video anyways. They pull all our videos for some reason. But anyways, let's get one more. I just want to play this right now, just so we get a shout out from our guys as we come close to an end here.
Hey, I'm Breckenmeyer.
Hi, I'm Mark Paul Gosselaar.
And you're watching Project Nerd.
Or go outside.
Yes. Thank you, gentlemen. That's right. So before we close out, we are going to have a little bit more Dylan Loper. So I will share with you a little behind the curtain of what's going on. So obviously this year for the Project Nerd Film Festival, we wanted to include web series and podcasts, video podcasts, because that's what we do. We do this stuff and we rather enjoy it. We want to award other people that are making these things. We appreciate the celebrity podcasts, don't want to knock them, but at the same time, there are tons of other people out there making podcasts who need to get in your earwaves or in your ear holes, however you want to say it. So the thing we found challenging is marketing a film fest to filmmakers. Pretty straightforward how you do that. Marketing it to podcasters, a little different. So we didn't figure that out greatly. So unfortunately this year we did not have a Best Podcast Award, but we did accept our own podcasters to send some stuff in so we could show them here on our WebFest, some of our favorite episodes. We said, hey guys, what is your favorite episodes of your own series? And one in particular that we all love, of course, is Two Guys, One Film. Their witty banter about movies. And you know what? They were just talking about him, James Cameron. And by they, I mean Jason Trost and Dylan Loper. So our Two Guys, One Film are going to break down Avatar. Before we head that way, just one last reminder, you can head on over to projectnerd.com to check out all the greatness that is happening with us and where we're heading in the future. And we still have quite a few eyes on this. So it's been about an hour and a half. I am going to show a video one more time. If you're new to Project Nerd, I saw some new faces in the comments. So if you're new to Project Nerd, here's a little bit more about what we make.
You'll have to watch the episode.
Let's get scratching. 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 Let's get scratching.
All right, Internet, we're going to go ahead and, before somebody gets hurt, we're going to need to go.
Did Project Nerd make that?
So that's the many amazing things Project Nerd does. Always love sharing that video. Captures a lot of the creativity we have going on with so many faces. Project Nerd is such a great big collective of so many creators. We have a few podcast series still running right now. Some big news coming later this month. I wanted to share it here, but we don't have all the details finalized. And then, of course, stay tuned for our film festival next year. And you can catch us at a few events coming up down the road. We will be present in Omaha at Ocon Expo in July, Tallgrass Film Festival at the start of October. as well as some other local events here that we'll share more details with later too. All right, let's get to the podcast segment of what we got going on. It's our very own Two Guys, One Film, and they're breaking down Avatar. Please enjoy.
Warning, spoilies ahead. One of my favorite jokes that I used to do, it didn't really land except for with like two people at work, was like, Flock of Seagulls, I ran would play, right?
Yeah.
And I'd come up to people, I'm like, you know what? Iran is so far away. Hello, welcome to Two Guys, One Film. I'm Dylan.
And I'm Dane.
It's another week of second chances, and this week we both gave a second chance to the 2009 movie Avatar, written and directed by Jim Cameron. We're on that kind of a name basis. I can call him Jim, you know? Good old Jim Cameron.
Jimmy.
Synopsis for the movie, it's Pocahontas.
That's basically it.
With a dash of Dances with Wolves. All right. See you next week. No, we're just goofing around.
That was a goof.
Yep. Classic Two Guys, One Film goof. Welcome to the episode, folks. Let's get back at it. Okay.
Yeah.
2009 movie, Avatar, Jim Cameron, Pocahontas, blue aliens. I guess humans are the aliens. It's their planet. Whatever. Typical Pocahontas colonization? Okay, that's hard for me to say that word. And we're running that planet dry of unobtainium because we cannot obtain it. It is unobtainable. Like, boy.
Like, that's the best you guys could come up with. Like, gosh, we sure can't obtain this.
Wow.
Unobtainium. Got
it. Nail it. Like, it's just, yeah, we'll get into it. Anyway. So, our main character, Jake Sully, he wakes up from cryo, right? I've always had this question about cryo sleep.
Well, you completely skipped him and his stupid inner monologue and stuff. Like,
well, that's because he's waking up from the cryo. Because he's like, I had a dream where I was flying. In cryo, you don't dream. Or
no,
whatever.
I mean before that, where he's like at the bar and shit.
I don't remember that.
I got the stupid extended cut.
Oh, you watched the extended cut? Oh, shit.
That pisses me off. No wonder that shit was so long. That pisses me off. I didn't want to watch that. I purposely didn't watch that. Oh my God. All right, yeah, there's a whole part where he's at a bar and like there's no reason for it. I was like, what even is this? I wish it would have just skipped to where you were because he like beats up this guy for no reason.
Is he paralyzed?
Yeah, yes.
Okay.
Because he's talking about like coming back from getting paralyzed. And so like he didn't see like his brother in the cardboard casket either.
That skips the whole thing?
Oh my God.
No, that's on my end. Like it starts.
I was gonna say, like, so yeah, there's this whole thing of him, and it shows like the city, like Earth, and how sucky it looks. But it kind of looks like it reminds me of Blade Runner. That's basically what it looks like.
Okay.
And he goes to a bar, like that's his thing. And he's always like, "Oh, don't help me. I don't need help." And then he sees this like dude slap this woman, and then he goes up and beats him up and gets thrown out of the bar, and that's it. And then these dudes walk up and they're like, "Oh, hey, this is the guy, it's his brother." And I was like, "Okay." And then they take him to the
unnecessary.
Yeah.
Because the way it starts in the theatrical cut is fine.
Mm-hmm.
It's a little bit of exposition while he's talking, wakes up out of cryo. And this is the question I have with cryo freeze in any movie. Are you frozen? Because if not, your hair would grow, Where does the poop go? How do you brush your teeth? Who the fuck takes care of you? Like, are you just this solid frozen in time person? Like, how does that happen? Because you are, because it's like 6 years later and he's still like the same age.
Yeah.
So how does this work?
Well,
How
I mean,
does
he wouldn't
cryo
technically be
work?
the same age. He would have like aged like numbers wise, but I mean, yeah, I
He'd
know
look the
there's.
same.
I think this is supposed to be just kind of take it like for what it is sort
I
of
mean, that's like
situation
in
because
every
I feel
movie with
like there's a
cryo
few
freeze.
things in this that I was, and I'm gonna, of course we jump around, but I'm gonna go to those big floating rocks. How the
Yeah.
fuck is there water inside those? And if
'Cause
there was water,
the rain,
you know, oh,
and you know how
so
they
you're telling me
float
after
the
like
force. They don't go too high; they stay right
how do
there.
they know where to stay? How do they know to go
Right there.
yay high?
It's the force, people. Fucking
It's your
mountains
excuse
have
for everything.
force.
It is the excuse for everything.
It
It's
is
the force.
Jim Cameron, the force.
Way to go, buddy.
So he wakes up and they're like, "Oh, we got a job for you because your brother, here he is in a cardboard box, and he was part of the Avatar program. It pays well, really well. Oh, okay.
Yeah, I
Because I'm
guess
gonna
I'll-
need money in fucking space. What the hell am I gonna do with this shit?
In Pandora, that takes 5 years to get there. Apparently.
Oh,
You
here's
know-
Earth money on Pandora. That is absolutely useless.
Yeah, good luck buying something there. And I guess as humans, when we like settle in a new place, it's our job to set up smoke factories.
Oh, of course.
That just do smoke. Like, what
Well, yeah.
what were the point of those? What were they? Is that the unobtainium mines or like what?
I think it's just to signify a colony has been established. It is a living situation because since forever we've had to have smoke in our area.
Well, yeah, because I think about like, oh man, you see like all the new like colony pictures, like, and yeah, they're drawings and stuff, but like the chimneys are always billowing smoke like crazy.
Because now it's a lively place. Everything's okay. Come on in, follow the smoke. It's a paper mill. It's gonna smell really good. Come on to our place. Like, is that place on Pandora just like burning nothing? They're like, I don't know, throw it in. We gotta have the smoke.
Yep. If we're not making smoke, are we even human?
Good question. Also, that cardboard box does not burn very well.
No.
Like, it's fucking
But
torching.
I thought about that, but then I was like, well, I mean, if you're gonna be like housing bodies in a cardboard box, you want something somewhat sturdy.
Yeah.
Did they
There's
show like
some
the weird
fucking-
close up of his face burning as well? Like in that?
No, what the fuck?
Yeah. That was weird. I'm like, okay, that was unnecessary. And it's
I feel like I have to watch this a third time just so I can compare the
not-
director's cut.
we can compare it right now. And it
So-
doesn't seem like you're missing out on much, just weird random shit.
So now I imagine Jim Cameron in the editing room for the director's cut. He's like, hey guys, do the face shot. I think we really need to see that face fucking melting.
Like melting. Well, it's weird because it's kind of like it's not like super gruesome or anything. It's just like him in the fire and it looks like his face is getting a little jacked up and that's it. Like and it's
What's
just
the
like,
point of that?
I don't know.
Just in case you didn't realize, he's being burned.
Yeah, he's dead.
Oh.
This is the beginning of the movie. Did he have that like inner monologue while you watched it as well?
Yeah.
That was annoying.
Which, to me, I don't know who the fuck he's talking to.
Yeah.
There's times where he's talking to the journal. Then there's times where he's explaining what's going on. I'm like, is he talking to us?
Yeah.
And then there's time, like at the end of the movie, he's doing another journal of like, oh, I gotta go. Like, so was it that the entire time? But it can't be because it's a linear movie. So it's not like one of those ones where he's talking from the future.
Yeah.
Who the fuck is he talking to? And how?
Yeah.
And why?
What's the point?
There's no point.
Like in my notes, I have just stop narrating.
Yeah.
Please stop narrating. Why are you narrating? I see what's happening. We can see what's happening. And it's not like he's telling us anything like, oh, this is how I'm feeling personally. He's just talking about what's going on.
Yeah.
Now
Oh,
if
they
he was
won't
talking
like
about
if I do this.
now if he was talking about himself, like, wow, like if you maybe and okay, let me just get these thoughts out, I guess. If he talked about himself and how he was feeling through the process of like, oh man, this sucks. Like I'm really starting to come around to like, seeing things these guys' way,
I feel
and
bad
then
for betraying
yeah,
him.
and
Like,
then
no.
but the monologue isn't that. It's just him being just,
It
I
just
guess this is for people that aren't seeing it right now.
it's
This is
just
what I'm doing.
it reminds me of the dumb theatrical cut of Blade Runner where like Harrison
Yes.
Ford's doing like the voiceover like noodles and stuff like that. No, snakes aren't real. It's hard to get real snakes. Like I know, I can see that. You could just say that. You don't have to have him explaining it to me.
Yeah, but
We're
didn't
not
Harrison
all
Ford
done.
not want to do that?
Oh no, that's why it sucks ass. And like even Ridley Scott didn't want to do that. I think that was like the studio or some shit.
It's so stupid.
That's why like Harrison's
God.
like doing the most half-assed job at it. I'm like, I don't blame you, dude. It was fucking dumb.
Yeah, but yeah, that was annoying. And then it just like stops halfway through the movie.
And then it picks back up. Like
Yeah.
towards the end, he's starting to do the dialogue again. I'm like, I don't know what's going on.
Like, why are you in and out with the dialogue? Just cut that. Like, that should have been not in any cut of the movie.
Mhm. Yeah.
And also, apparently, the stuff I saw shouldn't have been in the movie either. Didn't
Well,
need to
obviously,
be.
since it made sense to me without it.
Yeah, it was just fine.
I did like how they made his legs look like actual like atrophy and stuff like that. That was really fucking cool. That's a cool detail. Like he's got cool details. Like Jim's good. He's not always great. He used to be great, but he's okay now.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, I like that. The weird thing, okay, were they just CG for a second when they first land and he's coming out and there's like those two Marines like greeting everybody? They looked completely CG for like that one split scene. And I was like, what the fuck? Because their skin looked weird. And then it went back and they had normal bodies, but then their faces look CG because then like the windscreen.
There's a few scenes in this where I felt like I couldn't tell if it was practical or not. And I don't know if they used any practical stuff because sometimes they do like some of the plants, like the way they looked, I was just kind of like, huh.
I think that the stuff not with humans is all computer generated, which was cool. Like that.
Yeah.
I remember that was the big thing about this movie was like it was groundbreaking in visual like effects, like digital effects, because it was like we're doing the whole thing and it's not like the Final Fantasy movie or like Beowulf or anything like that. It's like fucking good looking, realistic CGI.
Yeah,
So
and
like,
I mean,
yeah.
and I can't sit here and say that it didn't look good and it wasn't
No, it
nice
looks
to
great.
look at. There's all kinds, like the forest is really cool.
Yeah,
there's all kinds of cool like detail in it, and like I did find myself while they were walking around in it and like seeing those bugs, thinking like, oh man, I wonder what like like not that it would even really fucking matter, but I wonder what that bug's like, or that one that's like crawling around and it shows like it's like pincher thingies, and I'm like, man, I want to see like a documentary on like Pandora.
Yeah, like David Attenborough doing the Pandora wildlife. The one, the reptile that I thought was dumb, the one that like has that.
Yeah, I know. I was like, man,
the Wright
evolution
brothers
fucked
like
you,
spinning
man.
thing because his body's spinning too, and so it's like
I know, that's what I was like.
Like, how is he gonna land?
Like some of the evolutionary stuff on this planet, I was just like, how is like evolution gonna make that?
Yeah.
Those poor creatures, they freak out and then they just start spinning.
Speaking of evolution, is like, I know creatures are different on Earth, obviously, but like all the animals in this movie have like 6 legs.
Yeah.
Why are the Na'vi the only ones that are like bipedal 2 legs?
I wondered that too.
Because I know like there's the lemurs that look like the creature from Cloverville or Cloverfield to me. Like its face
With,
looked
like,
like
the
the
face,
monster. Yeah, I was like ripping that shit off. But like, I don't know. Evolution's weird. It's alien evolution. Once again, don't think too much into it. It's a fucking movie.
I don't know. Is there something wrong with our minds because we pick movies apart like that, or?
I mean, I
we're
think
just
we're just doing our
man,
job.
come on, man. This like evolution wouldn't do a creature like that.
Maybe.
And like, and even if it did, they wouldn't last very long. They'd be easy prey for anything bigger.
Not if I spin around. Whee!
Oh, the colors will distract them into eating me. Unless they're like super poisonous, I don't think that.
Yeah.
But if they were really poisonous, then why the hell were they touching them? Anyway, we're looking too much into this like, one creature. It's just a tiny part of the movie.
So he like when he comes to the base, whatever you want to call it. There's that guy who's like, "Wow, you look just like him." I'm like, "Yeah, I'm his fucking identical twin. Of course I look just like my brother."
Right?
Like, wow, you look just no shit. That's why he picked me. I'm his fucking twin.
And like they bring that up a few times, like, oh
Yeah.
man, it's cool. It's like, yeah, because biologically
we're identical twins.
Yeah,
That's why we look alike.
That's why this works.
Yeah.
I don't know why they brought you in it, because we're biological twins. That's why this works. We share the same DNA.
Oh, weird. That's why you look like him. This movie also conveniently, cleverly, like covers every dick in the movie. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
So like when Jake's looking at his avatar, like a head is perfectly like blocking it, and then like it'll move and it's like leg and hip are blocking it,
Yeah.
and like there's always something cleverly. But the parts that always bother me, and this bothered me in Lord of the Rings, not like I wanted to see a dong, like Gollum's dong or anything, but I'm
Yeah.
like, oh, you would see that. That is a flap of fabric. and
Yeah,
that
there's
is it.
no way that
Yeah.
you would not catch a quick glimpse. I mean, maybe not through the entire movie you're seeing his dong, but
like
you're
you
gonna
definitely would.
see it. You know,
So,
maybe a
like, I
quick
know-
peek. Same with all of them, you know.
You're not wearing any clothes. How are we like magically not showing anything?
Yeah.
I mean, it's PG-13, but I don't
Well-
think Peter Jackson probably would have wanted to like let's animate a Golem dick.
Yeah.
What would Golem's penis look like?
Probably
Let's put it
awful.
in the movie. I don't know why that's another thing I go to. Is
Okay,
like
like-
evolution of bugs. Can I see a blue person's dick? You know?
Yeah. So what was he working with?
Yeah. What you got going on down there, Jake?
Yeah.
So then he's like doing the things like, here I am doing science. I'm like, you're not doing shit.
Yeah.
Everyone around you is doing science. You're fucking sitting around getting like your ass chewed out for being some dumb fucking Marine. And then you're like, here I am doing something. You're not doing shit, dude. You're sitting around. Sorry, not to be like mean about you.
I know.
being in a wheelchair, but like it's like a figuratively, you know, you're like
Yeah, he's
sitting
not
around
really
on-
doing much. He's just
Yeah.
kind of walking around with them.
One thing, I'm not ripping this off. It was a very good SNL bit. It was about the guy who chose the font for Avatar movie, and he chose Papyrus. And now I can't unsee that. I'm like, it's just Papyrus, and it's dumb. Why the fuck? It's cool because it's like a script, like it's a different world. It's ancient. It's like it's fucking Papyrus, and that bothered me. Whole movie, all subtitles are like Papyrus.
Yeah.
So you hit that one on the nail, SNL. You don't always do it, but thank you for that one. But it's just Papyrus. It's like not even they try to like design their own font. We spent all of our time making an alien language. We can't do the font. Just use your favorite one. Can we
Yeah.
use Jokerman? Anything but Jokerman.
And also, like, why are they? God, they have to like keep beating in that they're like savages.
Yeah,
You
well,
know,
it's-
and then like keep like it's like they're purposely trying to make them come across as racist as possible, because there's a part where he calls them blue monkeys.
Hell
I'm
yeah,
like,
exactly.
Jesus
like later on.
Christ, you know, like,
It's at this point, you don't have to hammer it in so hard about people doing this, like, you know, pushing out an indigenous tribe for resources. We've seen it. We know about it. So you don't have to really hammer it in so hard that these people are like racist, xenophobic of like,
Yeah,
"These
like-
fucking blue monkeys, like,
I was just
get
like,
them out of their trees, them tree huggers." And it's like, we get
yeah,
it.
I'm like, okay,
But maybe just dial it back a bit.
yeah, you establish that you don't like them. We
Let's
get it.
keep doing it through the whole movie. Like it was,
They're so blue.
yeah, and it's
okay.
like savages. I'm like
I
get it. We're doing like the history repeats itself.
They finally he sees his avatar. And it
I
doesn't
think-
just go
oh,
directly
she-
to them.
No, she goes and yells at Giovanni Ribisi, who's like putting in the middle of this like control room.
Oh,
It's like,
yeah.
can you not, sir? Can
Yeah.
you like not fucking do
No,
that?
it's
Like,
it's
that's a
fine because
tripping
I'm rich.
hazard.
I love this putter. Shush.
Look how good I am. Oh, did you see that? No, you didn't, because you're looking at your screen.
Yeah, what a nerd.
Nerd.
I thought to myself, like, yeah, he's doing his job. What a dick.
Yeah. You're welcome, sir. Like,
yeah. No, you didn't
but
see
yeah,
that 'cause
that's
you're
when
looking
he's
at the
like,
money, yeah.
oh, this is best case scenario because now you have protection and we don't have to, this body, like, oh, you can go with the locals because let me remind you why we're here. This rock, which is called unobtainium, is super expensive for some reason on Earth. I don't know if it's a fuel. I don't know if it's jewelry, but hey, we got to get this. And they're sitting on a gold mine of it.
How do
under
they
their
know?
tree. Our scanners indicate that there's unobtainium.
But every time they're like, then why were they sending the scientists out there to scan stuff? But then it turns out that they were just like not using them for anything, and they were just wasting money on the scientists.
I feel like they just did that to like appease people back on Earth. Of like, oh, you can't go in there and kill people. Oh no, we're studying them while we do it. And so like the scientist thing was just a whole front. Like, no, we're just here to like fucking bulldoze this place.
Yeah,
but yeah, I think it
for
was
the
just like, to make
unobtainium.
it's just to make people feel good that they're doing something good there, when in their actuality they're just fucking over the whole place.
Even though I feel like on Earth, because it sucks so hard, I don't think people would give a shit what's going on Pandora unless they were going there.
They're like, that's not my problem. It's really shitty here right now.
What? There's aliens there? Okay, whatever. I'm not.
I'll never be able to go there. I won't obtain a way to go to Pandora.
Yeah.
Pandora is unobtainable to me.
Yeah, just like the unobtainium. Cannot
You see what we're doing there,
obtain.
folks? You see what we're doing there, folks? That's it's a joke that we're playing back on. This probably won't be the last time, too.
Oh no.
Welcome to the show.
Yeah.
So like, I love futures in movies and stuff is like, and TV shows do it too, where like screens are just glass and you're just like touching the stuff on it and there's just like stuff on it.
Yeah.
Why would we do that?
I don't know. And I wondered that too. I'm like, I don't want to see through the screen because I kind of need the whole screen.
Because I'll be focused on some of the background and like it's gonna end up being the same color as something. And I was like, well, what the fuck was that? And so
now,
then
like when they do that and it's like a hologram that pops up off the screen, now that I can deal with.
That's cool.
Because
But,
like your eyes are
touch-
gonna focus on that anyway. But the touch screen seeing through it,
And
it
they're
doesn't make sense.
They're always doing way too much too, like slide and stuff. Like when in actuality it's like 2 keys and they're like, all right, they're in.
And good.
Go.
All right.
It's like sliding over.
Yeah, my question to that, anytime I see that, is why would you make the procedure so complex?
It shouldn't be. It should be for like anybody can do. Also, it should be easy to do and easy to stop.
Yeah,
instead of
because
being
why
like, "We gotta-"
would you not want a programmer to make that
Yeah.
a reality where you're just like, all right, we hit this button and then it
You're
does this, and this. And I know that if that kind of future existed, there's somebody smart enough to put that together.
Mm-hmm. Well, I don't know. I kind of want the Avatar program to be slightly unobtainable for the average Joe, but for a scientist who has studied, they can easily obtain the access into their avatar.
See, I, for one, would not be able to probably obtain the knowledge to... I wouldn't even be able to attain that in my head if I were to obtain the knowledge.
There's too many glass pads for me to touch. I won't be able to get in.
I'd be like, can you get Doom to run on this?
Yeah. Do you guys? Does this have Firefox on it?
Yeah. How do I get to the internet?
Yeah.
How do I do incognito mode?
Yeah. Just for research purposes.
Yeah. We're searching avatars.
Yeah. Not other stuff. Not Navi ladies. Also, why does Sigourney Grace have to always announce "I'm going in" and starts like doing stuff? It's like, we get it.
Because
She
you
has
can't,
to
you
announce,
can't just
"I'm
you,
going in."
You can't just hop in there willy nilly. You know, what if someone doesn't know that you're in there and they can't get you? Okay, so can you get out if you're in there? Like if
think,
you're
like,
in, or you have to have somebody pull you out.
I think someone has to stop the program, or apparently if you die, because the nerdy guy from Grandma's Boy, his avatar dies and he just wakes up and comes out.
Yeah.
So like, I'm glad they didn't do like the Matrix. If you die in your avatar, you die in real life. So like, because it's a video game basically. So like, yeah, I feel like
my question also is like, well, what if your human body died? Would you be stuck in the avatar?
I think no, because I think your brain has to be connected through the machine mechanism into the avatar
yeah,
because
okay,
that's what they're
okay.
trying to do with Grace later on. Her body was dying.
They were
so they're
trying to
like,
upload her
"Oh,
to the tree.
to upload her into her avatar.
Yeah, and she died too quick. So then she just lives in
Why?
the tree. Then
Why does she get a normal nose?
that's what I wondered.
Her avatar has like
Also, did she have
Sigourney
5
Weaver's
hands
nose.
or 5 fingers
So,
as opposed to the
all
4
the
finger?
all the humans that are like the avatars made, they all have like 5 fingers.
Yeah.
And eyebrows apparently.
Yeah.
Because Navis only have like 4 fingers.
Yeah, I was noticing
But
that.
like,
I'm like, huh.
that's how you can tell them apart.
Yeah.
Also, because she gets her own realistic Sigourney Weaver nose. Everybody
Yeah.
else gets the kitty cat nose. She
was-
gets pointed.
when they were creating her avatar, she's like, I do not give me the cat nose. I need to
I
have
want my
my
own nose.
my trademark Sigourney Weaver nose.
Yeah, I am
on my
Sigourney
avatar.
Weaver. I am beautiful. You will not give me a kitty cat nose.
Yeah, thank you. Well, it's an thank you.
You're welcome.
That was the end of that conversation.
Yeah.
And she
Oh,
got what
thank
she
you.
wanted.
Zip
It looks fantastic, Sigourney. Your nose looks
Yeah.
great.
I love
It works well on an avatar.
Yep. So then, Mr. Jake Sully goes to the Marine guy with the scratches on his face.
He looks like the toy Marine from
Toy Soldiers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what he reminded me of.
Yeah. I am leader of the Gorgonauts. Gorgonites.
Was it
Gorgonites,
Knights?
whatever. Gorgonites.
It's been a
Gorgonauts.
long time since it. We're gonna have to do one on that.
Let's stop talking about this. End the episode. We're watching Universal Soldiers.
That's no. No.
We're watching Jean-Claude Van Damme.
Universal
Universal Soldier. Jean-Claude Van Damme, Dolph Lundgren. That's the movie we're talking about?
Yes.
Okay.
No. Yes.
So, like, okay. He goes to meet this guy, and I like this guy's just, like, lifting weights to show off. Like, oh, me? This low gravity really makes you soft, but not me, because I'm fucking pumping iron.
Yeah, and then he sits up,
Yeah.
not out of breath.
Yeah, because I'm, like, badass.
That's like all I do is
And, like,
work out.
I have a hard time believing Jake would be instantly so okay with this plan of being like, yeah, let's kick these guys out of a home. I'm a dumb Marine, so I'm totally okay with taking orders, totally okay with getting this. You're going to give me my legs back. It's like, dude, you've been in this body before, and you're like, why the fuck would I want to, like, why would I want to do this to people? But, like,
seriously,
I have a really hard time believing that he's instantly like, okay, I'm going to learn a lesson later that this isn't good. So at the beginning, I have to be like, hey,
I
this
have to
sounds like
be-
a good idea. But then in
I have
the
to
end,
be a
I got to
butthole.
change my ways, you know?
Well, yeah. How would they have any sort of like story arc if he didn't like betray them so
Yeah, that's
much?
true. And, you know, I can't be against it from the beginning. So.
Yeah.
So they go out on the field. He's got his guns, and they get to wear clothes with their avatars because, you know, she's got sick, like, Adidas or Reeboks on.
Dude, I know. It reminded me of Alien. I was like, dude, you got some
Yeah.
like sick ass shoes.
She's just fucking rocking him in her, like, Harvard whatever shirt. She's, like, you know, rubbing in. She went to college. She's like, I just want to look like a badass when I'm in my avatar, dude.
Yeah.
Which I get. I would too. She's fucking cool.
Dude, I'd be all naked with the loincloth, man.
Yeah, dude. Yeah.
Like, why
Give
not?
me
Why-
some necklaces. Give me some.
See, like, and that
some
didn't make sense to me.
feathers.
I'm like, why aren't you guys trying to blend in when you? But then, like, I guess they already know who she is.
This is my problem. I'm gonna get into this.
Okay, let's get into it.
If
What's it
you
about?
want to gain the trust of the local natives, let's make clone bodies of local natives, get in those bodies, pretend to be them, because it's like, hey, I look like you, things are okay, instead of just going out as humans and showing like, hey, this is what we look like. We're not here to fight. Let's learn from each other. Why the fuck do you have to look like one of them?
Well, first off, it seems like they think they're stupid. It's kind of patronizing.
Yeah.
And
Oh,
also,
they'll only understand if we look like them.
and also, how are you supposed to bang them if you're not them?
That's true. That's true.
I mean,
Sorry.
did it need to happen?
Like,
and no.
like, I don't understand this program because it's almost like it's almost like they're mocking them.
Yeah.
In a way of like, oh, you can't talk to our human form, so let's make our dummy avatar forms for you guys to talk to.
Yeah, because that'll be more comfortable for you.
Yeah. No.
So like, and
I
then
don't get it.
like when we talk like that about it, then it makes me think like the whole part of her like loving him or liking him at all is just like
It's just because he looks like
you're basically falling for like a doll.
Yeah.
Because that's all it is.
I love his brain though, but you love more than that. You know?
You love
because
his
he's
sweet
a blue guy.
ponytail.
He's after he's done banging that horse with his ponytail.
He's gonna get you too.
That's weird.
Right?
That
I'm
is
like,
weird,
okay,
but, like,
so
our
everything...
ponytails that
Yeah.
let me put it in this horse. Oh. And like even the horse's eyes are like, oh. Let me put it in this banshee. Oh. Let me attach it to this tree. Oh yeah. It's
Right.
like, that tail has been around and you're gonna want to like
Well,
I don't know.
like, whoa, how many people have been
Yeah.
how many
horses
tails
have
have you
been in
touched?
today? Yeah. I do like there's that part where he gets captured after like being out there in the night and surviving against hyena things, and she saves him. And they're like taking him back. And what was really cool is there was like that one that had him by his ponytail and was like ready to cut it off. Like, dude, he's gonna cut your dick off, dude. You won't be able to connect with nothing. Like,
Yeah.
what evolution is this? That this species is like, hey, let's put all this important shit into my ponytail.
Yeah.
And hey, we can only ride stuff if we put our ponytails into things. Like, what is the purpose in that?
Yeah, so I
Whatever.
mean, do they even have junk? Like down there?
I feel like they do because they don't show it. You know, they have loincloths for a reason. Because if they didn't, they wouldn't be wearing them.
You know, but then what's the point of the ponytail? And what's the point of having like reproductive organs if you don't use them?
I think
or
they
do they use
'cause it looks like they bang. They don't
bang
show it, but like she
Like-
gets like they're like straddling. Sorry, folks. They're like straddling each other when they bang because you don't
Yeah.
really like they mate for life basically.
Yeah.
But like, I don't think that's how babies are born. They don't just put ponytails
like-
together when they rip them apart a little bit. So like, I feel like they have
And-
reproductive organs and like
'Cause, like, I
they're
was-
very humanoid, but
I'm like, they're humanoid, but they got that connector. But then, like, if that's supposed to be like his dick, like you said, what's the
I
point
think
of
it's about connecting to everyone around you and connecting to the world and the trees and to unobtainium. So let's have our braids also connect, because I don't know if you guys got this. The tree has a brain and the whole planet's a brain connected like a brain to each other.
Yeah.
So hey, our ponytails will do the same.
So it's somewhat of a hive mind.
Kind of
weird,
yeah.
like
the
like a-
trees have a hive mind, which basically like that's mushrooms. Mushrooms
Yeah.
are all like a connected thing. So it's just mushrooms on Avatar crack.
Yeah.
I don't know if you noticed.
They're on
this.
unobtainium, dude.
Dude, I'm like fucking freebasing obtainium right now. Just whoa, no one can obtain my high. I can't even obtain a high. Whoa. Unobtainium, my asshole. Now that's not obtainable.
Ooh.
I don't know if you noticed this. Instantly noticed it. Instantly was pissed off unless he like asked Spielberg if he could use
all the dinosaur
noise
noises?
of the T-Rex and of
the raptor?
The raptor.
Yeah, it was
And then,
pissing me off. I was like,
the horses do that.
Yeah.
And then the other thing was like a straight up T-Rex roar.
Yeah.
It was like, that's
Yeah,
just
I'm
the
like,
fucking T-Rex.
wow.
Like,
Yeah,
don't
I wrote
even try
that. I put in my notes. I'm like, the animals sound like Jurassic Park dinosaurs. I'm like,
and they
what?
don't
Like,
even change the pitch.
No.
They don't like elongate them. It's just like click,
Blatant rip
drag,
off.
drop. It's just like
we spent too much time making the creature. Now give him a sound.
Yeah.
T-Rex, is closest I can think of, and it's not even like what an actual T-Rex might sound like. It's Spielberg's T-Rex.
yeah, that's so fucking. I was like, I don't know why I was pissed about it, but I was pissed about it. You know, unless
Yeah.
Spielberg's like, yeah, have it. I don't give a shit.
Sure, use
Jim,
it.
do whatever
Be-
you want.
Be lazy, I guess. I don't know what to tell you.
So like, she was gonna shoot him with the arrow,
Mhm.
but then a little jellyfish landed on it, and she goes, "Oh, that's a sign." I shouldn't shoot him. Instead, I'll save him when he's fighting these things and then get mad at him that I had to kill one because they didn't have to die. But later on, I'm going to hunt something and it's going to be A-okay.
Yeah, but yeah, as long as you say the prayer and you're going to use the animal, then you're fine.
Like I get it. It's very like Native American in that aspect. But like if they're really that into everything being connected literally on this world, don't fucking eat everything. Don't eat the animals. Eat the stuff the tree actually provides.
Yeah, that delicious looking whatever it was she gave me, like some kind of
Like,
fruit, and I was like, damn,
yeah.
that looks pretty good.
You can live on that. You don't have to kill these animals.
Yeah, if
that
it bums you out that hard,
don't fucking do it. The world is literally giving you fruit.
Yeah.
And you're just like
like
well, I
almost
gotta kill this
literally
thing.
handing it to you because you guys are so connected.
Whatever.
And like can talk to the animals, so it's like everything evolved to have that one little tentacle to communicate with everything.
So
how is there not like harmony between everything?
Because they're hunting them, you know? Because life cannot be easy. There must be struggles to get this balance of life because this tree does not take sides. She
So
takes the sides of balance, which
the
is
planet
just
the
a way
planet
of saying
worked so
God.
hard to create all this stuff that like you have to you cannot possibly get protein from anything else but animals.
Yeah, sorry. Duh.
Circle of life. So you have to.
Yep.
But I think in the Native American like respect, they're supposed to like use the entire animal.
Yeah, that's why I like to
I
use
think
every part of the buffalo.
they didn't go into that detail, but I think it's supposed to be somewhat assumed.
Yeah, because you're like, I get it, you know.
Because I mean, they had that whole like hunting scene, which was very Dances with Wolves.
Oh yeah.
You know.
You have a strong heart. That's why I saved you. Oh, thanks. So yeah, sorry, I'm just reading this note and it made me laugh. So you have to bang the horse with your penis braid? Like that's like a note. Oh man.
Right? And the banshee.
Yeah.
And the big giant one that he writes later.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's the old oh, he'll choose. He's gonna try and kill you first.
And then you're gonna later on jump on his back and put your penis braid in him without his consent.
Oh.
That got weird. Yeah. And why is it the banshee has to choose you and only you can fly with them and they like basically mate with you for life in a sense? But horses pass those things around. You can get on any fucking horse you want. You can ride your friend's horse after his ponytail's been in it. Fucking put yours in there. That horse doesn't give a shit. But these banshees, oh, you better not get fucking close to my banshee.
So do you get one? I mean, is she done since that one dies?
I think it
one and done. You can go
yeah,
and get
exactly.
another one.
Sorry, you don't get another one.
Yeah,
That one
they're
chose
limited.
you.
They're limited supply. No
Yeah.
other one is gonna choose you.
Sorry, you can't fly no more.
It's a bummer.
So then he's being trained. For some reason, the tribe's like, yeah, this'll work. You were a warrior. Let's train this guy in our language and to know our ways, because what could go wrong?
Yeah.
And obviously, it's a progression of time because his hair grows and his beard grows, and there's a montage with dialogue over it because I have to be told what's going on instead of just watching what's going on. Of like, oh, it's really hard to hunt. Oh, it's a really live or die with this lady, and it's just like, I can see that.
I'm
I can
surprised
see
he's
it's
not
a
like sitting
montage.
there in his in the dialogue. Just you think she likes me? What do you think? Do you think she might like me?
She's cute. I'll give her a note. Do you like me? Yes. Or yes. And like for the fact that Grace knew that he was relaying message to the army dude, but yet continues to let him have that access in which to do it. Like, I know you took yourself off site, but you're letting him record this stuff, you know, for like, it helps you digest it.
Yeah.
But like, he's obviously giving that information. Don't fucking let him do that.
Yeah.
You knew it was happening. That one guy tattled on him, and that's why you moved.
Yeah.
But why you're like, it should be okay. I'll
It's
let him
cool.
still.
It's cool. And I think that because I was wondering that too. I'm like, why don't you just like either confront him about it or stop him?
Yeah.
You know,
This could all be
'cause
done.
You're giving him too much. Like, I personally wouldn't be like, oh, he'll have a change of heart. he'll have a change of heart. I'm like, no, humans are assholes and pieces of shit. So I don't think he's gonna have a change of heart. I'm just gonna talk to him. Hey, man, you shouldn't do what you're doing.
Oh,
Like, I know what you're doing.
The one line I do agree with from the army guy, the colonel, of like, I don't know verbatim what he said. He's like, you bang one girl and you change your mind. I'm like, that's
Yeah.
basically all it took. He's like, oh, I love these people now. It's like,
Yeah, like you like one of them.
yeah. Their riding goggles don't really cover that much of their eyes. It's like this little bit when they're like on a thing. Like it should be like the whole thing.
Yeah.
Because they like slide it down, so it's like, oh, cool, but it only covers to here. I'm like, there's still like air and bugs gonna come up that way to you, dude.
Yeah. And also the way they like sit on those things, like, so it's not like an actual like seat sort of saddle. You like,
And it's weird because
stand
they
on it.
put their heels in their like nostrils.
Yeah, I'm
'Cause
like,
they
how
do
are they
that
breathing?
gross. They do that gross close up of like, it's like nostril hole
Yeah.
opening up, and it's like, okay, that's how it breathes, and we're putting our heels
Like,
like that,
wow.
like so that's like somebody doing this.
Yeah,
and they're gonna
that's how you
ride
control
me
them. You gotta like
this.
crank your heel in their nose to turn them.
Yeah. Although all you have to do is think fly, think
Yeah.
turn, and they'll turn. So
Yeah,
like
turn.
it's just a weird stirrup for your foot or whatever.
Yeah.
Also, lest we forget, this movie was in 3D in the theaters. I don't know if you knew they did that classic TGIF watching Home Improvement Drew Carey show where like something got really close to the camera and you're like, whoa, because there's
Whoa,
that
it's
part with like
3D.
the bow when she's like teaching him to hunt and he puts like
Yeah.
the arrow right up close
Yeah.
to the camera and you're like in the theater, you're like, whoa. Which I did see this in theaters in 3D, and it was just like, I didn't need to be 3D. I could have just watched the movie.
I know you.
I don't
you
like
told me.
3D movies. I really don't. Also, there's a lot of slow-mo in this movie. Did you notice that? Like,
Yeah.
just and not like at epic moments of just like somebody like jumping slightly from a run. Not like a really cool like
Yeah.
thing. It was just always like, "Wah." It's like fucking Zack
You know, and
Snyder directed
that
this.
was one of my things with this. I'm just like, okay, for this first off, this movie's really long.
Yeah.
And then you're slowing it down even more. Stop. Just let's. Like, we
Stretch
really
it.
gotta show the massacre of that
Mhm.
big giant tree, their house, their
Slow
home.
mo, whoa! Because
And I'm
Jake
like-
gave them the plans about the columns, whoa! And then they found out he's the one that betrayed him. Oh no!
Oh my god.
But he comes back with the giant dragon, and all is forgiven.
Yeah, all he had to do is tame the giant dragon, which
They're
for
like,
some reason
"Whoa."
he can do, but it's only been done 5 times.
5. I like that 5 times. Like nothing like cool like once. It's only been done 5 times. One of
Yeah.
them by my great grandpa.
Yeah. And I'm like, so what I feel like it is you could do it regardless of who it is. You just have
I
to
feel like you just have to do what he did and jump on
Yeah.
top of it.
just
and
be
then,
clever enough to,
Yeah.
ride him.
Because like when I first saw it, I was like, oh, it's gonna pick him, this
Mhm.
big bad boy. No, he just uses it, and then at the end he's like, there's no need for it anymore, and it flies away. Instead of just keeping it as your fucking badass dragon. Nope. I'll let it go. Because that's how
but-
much in tune I am
Yeah,
to this
I
world
let it- I
now.
just let him
I
free.
am one of them.
Yeah. It's
Yeah,
like
when he says
it's-
that later on of like
No.
our world, I'm like, no.
No, it felt weird. It felt
Mhm.
weird when he did
And
that.
they're
I
all
was
cool
like,
with it. They're all like,
yeah, they're like, yeah. And I'm like, but he's not really done anything for you at all.
Yeah.
Like literally everything has come from them. They have
Yeah,
done
they've done all
everything
the
for
work.
for him, and he
They've
destroyed their
trained-
home.
Yeah, they've taught him the language. They've taught him to fight. Taught him to ride things, and then I'm one of you. No, you're not.
No, you are
We
not.
taught you stuff, and you're not like.
And that like just like classic, just I'm one of you guys now. Just so you know, you don't get a choice. It's me.
Yep.
You already accepted me in. It's too late.
Too late.
Now
I'm one of
I
you.
get to say.
So after they're banging out in the forest,
Mhm.
and his body, like the Avatar body's not awake because he's not in it, and Sigourney Weaver's like, "You got to eat some eggs. I don't want to force feed a cripple, man." And so then, he like wakes up and he smashes the lenses on or the cameras on that thing. I like
Mhm.
later when they're looking at it, he's like, "Stop, zoom in, enhance."
I'm
And
like,
I
oh my
fucking hate
God.
any movie that do that. Enhance. You zoom
Like-
in, it's just pixelated. You're not like, that's him.
Yep, there. Yep, crystal clear.
crystal clear picture because I said enhance. Hang on, sir. Let me get my screen.
Enhanced.
Enhanced.
Pixelation gone. Yeah.
You're welcome.
Yeah. Oh, I got
And
you,
when
sir.
when they go get him, and the handcuffs are just slap bracelets, just like neon orange, like.
Like,
oh
man,
no,
those are
how's he
some
gonna get out of
strong
those?
slap bracelet cuffs.
Yeah.
I had that in my notes. I was like, okay.
Slap.
The future is here.
Glass
And it's-
tablets, slap bracelet handcuffs.
Yep.
They're shooting the tree up
Mhm.
because they're just coming at it because Sully was like, they're not going to give it up. They're not going to give it up without a fight. I'm like, oh, you gave him that? Oh.
All right, well, we'll just go kill him then. It's fine.
Yeah. Like, and then Michelle Rodriguez is like, I didn't sign up for this, and she flies away. She would get like fucking fired or discharged for that. Like, you're disobeying a direct
She
order.
probably would have gotten like, what is it, like court-martialed or something?
Yeah. I mean, maybe that was in the director's cut. I didn't see that scene because then randomly later she's like, I got a food cart for them because suddenly I'm delivering that and not the usual person that delivers the food. This guy will buy it.
I'm starting to feel like the only portion of the director's version was that shit in the beginning.
Just the burning face.
Yeah, because like everything we've talked about is.
I'm hoping there's more. I'm really hoping there's more.
I really hope there is too. But so far, it's pretty much just, you know. So he learns how to be them.
They escape with the help of her, and then badass guy has to like go outside and shoot after him without his mask because he's so fucking cool that
He's
he
like,
doesn't
I'll
need a
just hold
mask."
my breath and kick
Like,
open the door.
Yeah, and then everybody else like, oh fuck. It's like,
Yeah.
dude, calm down. I don't know if I've established this yet, but I'm fucking hardcore.
Yeah. Also, nothing gets me more hard than shooting guns and just killing not everything, blowing shit
I
up.
wish I could stick my ponytail in this gun. Ooh. Ooh. Here's a line that I loved was he's going back and he's like, I gotta to ever face them again, I'll have to take it to a whole new level. I'll have to kick it up a notch. I gotta put my braid in a big fucking dragon. That'll change it.
Yeah.
Let's do a whole new level. That's when things got kicked into 12th gear.
It pissed me off because it felt like the retaliation for the tree just took way too long.
Yeah. Like
I know he was gathering up like.
And how long was that?
Yeah, and
So-
how fast can they travel? Is that an entire planet's
It's a
worth of
planet.
people?
And like, what was the length of time between him coming back, showing that he's okay, he's one of them because he flew a dragon? I'll speak to them with your permission. Translate for me. This is our world. And then they go to a bunch of tribes. Like, how long is that? Was that months? Was that just a day?
Yeah.
It's like I feel like it would take a long time to
There's-
travel. Like, even with your riding a big ass banshee, like, how fucking long
Yeah,
is
there's
this?
no way they're going to travel to another part of the globe. I mean, because, it looked like there's an ocean. But then
Yeah.
they go up to, like, oh, hey, yeah, they're the tribe by the sea, you know, in the east or whatever. And
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, I feel like you're just hanging out on one continent.
Yeah, Pandora, USMA.
Yeah. USA Junior.
One thing, another thing I really hated in this movie, other movies do it. The prequels in Star Wars were guilty of it. Firefly did it all the time, and I love that show. It's the digital zoom, and it's like the fake shaky cam, and it
I don't
does
under-
it
they
so much in the battle. It's like, and it's like doesn't
I know,
punch in
like-
that much, but it's
and
always
I hated it. They do it multiple times in this movie, and it was stupid every time and
a lot of
unnecessary.
it was in the end, yeah. And it's like, it just looks dumb. It's just like, oh, because the cameraman's there, and he's like, let me zoom in, but it's obviously like punch in just a little bit, not like, like it's.
That's not what it feels
always
like to
bothers
me.
me.
What
It
it feels
doesn't.
like is a fake, like, oh, look, like, it just doesn't even feel like, it doesn't feel human. Like,
No.
and if that's what you want, then just literally have a guy stand there with a camera.
Yeah, but
I
no,
mean,
it's
if you're
digital.
already
He's not
going
there.
to, but why would anybody with a camera zoom in like that? Like a fucking like tourist fucking, man, there's an alien in the sky, or like it's fucking Bigfoot or some shit. It pisses me off.
That's exactly
I hate that.
what it is. It's that view of like somebody who isn't supposed to be there, just like filming
Yeah.
it on their camera, like, oh look,
I
at
better
this,
zoom
honey.
in on this, you know, and it's a
Yeah.
shitty zoom, and you're like, it's dumb. Yes,
I
I
hate it.
understand that. Yes, and
And
that
like,
pissed me off.
it's in good stuff that I love, which I
Mhm.
hate that they use it. And like, once again, Firefly, love that show. Did it way too much. And it
I hate
happened
it.
in like a few of the Star Wars. Like, I know it happens in like Revenge of the Sith, like in the beginning flying scene. I'm pretty sure on Geonosis and Attack of the Clones too, like just randomly. And it always is that like looks like a handheld shot.
Yeah.
you know?
And if it was, then why would they even be there?
Yeah, it's like
It doesn't
it's
make any
obviously
sense.
there's no cameraman there.
I'm like, and it makes it so there is a cameraman there, but it's also like it makes it like I said, the amateur camera person that's catching something really quick, like, oh shit, look what's going on with their phone, you know, like not like, all right, I'm gonna line this up, you know, I'm trying to line it up. But when it's a movie like that, it just should be a still shot with no shaking because there's not people filming it. Like
I know it's there. I know there's nobody there. It's all digital. It's an all fucking made up location.
But I mean,
you don't have to keep trying to fool me of like, is it real? Did we?
Yeah, but
film
nobody,
there?
in any movie, I'm never sitting there thinking like, wow, there's a crew filming this movie. Because I mean, if you're sitting there thinking about that, it kind of takes the immersion away. Yeah.
Yeah. Like it's just I don't know. It's a way to escape, and I don't want to be thinking about that. But now you made me think about it.
Busts you right back into reality so hard. So if anybody directing a movie hears this, stop doing that shit.
Stop doing digital zooms.
Because
we've discussed zooms
doesn't make any sense.
Quite a bit on this show, and we have always said there's a time and a place for a zoom.
Yeah.
There's ways it works. There's a lot of ways it doesn't. This is one of those ways it definitely doesn't.
I'm going to go out on a limb here and say that digital zoom just does not fucking work.
End it.
Just don't.
Stop.
And I mean, I understand, like, okay, oh, well, in the office, but I mean, like, they break the fourth wall. So, I mean, they're talking to the camera.
And that's
sometimes.
actually literally a cameraman filming these things. So that makes sense.
Be a person there. It makes sense. But when you do it in movies like this, it's like, oh, why is there a guy chilling on the side of a fucking, like a face of a cliff with a shitty camera?
Outer space, fucking like filming like a ship docking. And
that is what I start thinking. That's where my brain goes.
Yeah.
When I see shit like that. And maybe it's just because of the age we live in. You know, maybe if I was in the 50s and saw that, I'd be like, oh, but like...
The camera's getting closer. Oh, my.
It reminds me of, like, what you see when you're on Reddit and someone filmed someone on stage doing stuff. And then it makes you think, well, there's somebody there with their crappy phone filming shit. Why is that there? Okay, now I'm out of the movie.
Mm-hmm. Stop with digital zooms.
Sorry, I think I'm harping on this kind of a little. Just stop the digital zoom.
I didn't want to rewind it and put on captions, but did that Colonel guy call himself Papa Dragon?
Yeah.
When referring to everybody,
yeah,
like, this is Papa Dragon.
Yeah.
I was like,
yeah.
Did I hear that right? Okay.
Because I wrote it down. I was like, Papa Dragon.
Did you come up with this, sir? Or is
Yeah.
that what we've been calling you
No.
for a while? Or
No,
see that guy's like, hey guys, I'm Papa Dragon, by the way. Everybody calls me that. Or is it like sitting around, thinking of their code names for this mission? He's like, you know what? Papa Dragon.
Yeah,
Like a
that's me.
dragon.
Yeah. Wow, Papa. Yeah, and I'm like the dad of all of you got Papa Dragon. Like
You're
it was-
the mini dragons.
Yeah, when I heard that, I was like, lame.
Papa Dragon.
I'm Papa Dragon. Like,
So in the battle, there's that guy in the mech suit, which
Mm-hmm.
James Cameron loves mech suits, apparently. You got Ripley in the forklift floater. And
That
then
thing's
these guys,
cool, though.
which it just seems silly to me that their hands do stuff and they're always like testing it out, but they have to pretend to hold a gun so
Yeah,
that the
like
mech can actually hold a gun. So they're like moving around just like this in the cockpit.
And so
how
like,
do they know where their handles stop?
Yeah, and that was my question too. It's like, oh, do you feel the weight? Like, how do you know it's there?
Do the mechanisms physically stop when the mech is wrapping its hand around the gun, so you can't squeeze anymore? Also,
Yeah.
How does this work, and why do you have to just
Yeah,
I'm
and then I
inside the
also
thing?
what was ridiculous to me Like, and I'm jumping to the end here when he fights the colonel and the colonel pulls out the knife as the robot. I was like,
It's
why?
so stupid. Why would a robot have a fucking knife? Like, let's get personal.
I got a side knife, just in case I gotta fight another mech.
Real up close and personal, like. I like to see the life drain from your neck eyes.
Yeah, I want to see that oil dripping out of the
Oh yeah.
Well, except for
he's rubbing it on the
so
outside.
be like, I wrote that too. I was like, the mech's got a knife? Like, why?
That was dumb. I'm
In
like,
the
wouldn't it just make more sense as a mech to just grab him and crush him?
Or if you want to have a knife, have it come from its like fucking hand or wrist.
Why have
like something cool?
a holster for a
with
knife?
a knife. Like, it's so fucking.
And also,
Other than,
what,
like, Jake's
what
got
was
one,
the
too.
what was the purpose of the blade on the gun?
So if
Like, what
an
is the
enemy's-
giant mech like cutting through? And it also wasn't a chainsaw like in
Gears of War?
Yeah. So what was the point?
Just in case for close combat, if you need to, click in the melee stick, you're just gonna go.
Because I was like,
"Bang."
oh, maybe they'd use it to like clear brush. I'm like, well, then what's the point of their stupid little knife in the side? Because that thing is way
Yeah.
bigger than a machete, obviously.
Yeah, if
It
you
looks
need to
small
clear
in the
brush.
robot's hand, but that's perspective. So I mean, when it's just whoosh with the knife,
Yeah. That is ridiculous. The knife is ridiculous. Anyway, the guy that he's in the movie a few times, and he's the bald guy. And there's that part where like the battle's going on. He's in the mix, like, yeah, come get some.
Yeah, get some.
Yeah, get some. Like, I don't know why that's ridiculous, but I love the way he screams before he gets crushed. Oh,
Yeah.
he like backs up and then like it's the backup into it. Like that fucking made me laugh when he gets crushed. By
there's
the
a
rhino
there was
things.
another. Like, I love that scene too with them crushing through all those guys because the music is so happy.
Yeah. Yay, these
But it's like all heroic, and these guys are getting crushed. And I'm like, and they're all screaming and shit. Like,
all right.
that shit cracked me up.
Okay. So they saved the life tree from being blown up, but by causing an enormous forest fire.
Yeah,
that
isn't it
will
gonna burn the
eventually
tree?
spread to the tree. How are you gonna put out that fire? Because it's like fucking ship blows up.
Yeah, for
And it's just
me,
like-
I just thought you waited too long to take that
Yeah.
ship down.
It's
Because
way
not
too
only
close.
not only is it way too close, but even if it crashes somewhat far away, it's gonna explode because of those stupid crates on it that
I
that
did
guy
like that
gets
guy
crushed by.
that Whoa!
I love that. I was like, oh please, yes.
But yeah, like that fire's gonna fucking spread because that's not like normal fuel. So like,
Yeah.
I hope
And
you guys
plus
have
explosives added to it. I mean,
Like, yeah, maybe they can get their banshees, get a bunch of water, get some buckets, fly out there to however far it is. What if they bring one of the floating mountains with the waterfall over?
there you go. Tether it. You get as many banshees as you can.
Yep.
You pull the floating waterfall over by your tree.
Mhm.
Hey, now you guys have a water source too.
Well, obviously the tree can do that because it recruits all the wildlife. So the
Well,
tree
then-
can just bring over the giant unobtainable mountain with the waterfall.
well, why
pour
can't
on
it just put the fire out?
Because it's not connected to the fire. It's the force. I don't know.
Okay. As long as there's some sort of explanation.
Yeah, because
for
it like suck in the fire, just like
Yeah.
and use it to fuel and
also,
to shoot
okay,
a
so there's
laser.
obviously like oxygen on this planet. Is there too much oxygen for us to breathe, or how is
I
that
don't
working?
think it's-
Because
I think there's some other toxin in the air which they don't explain. They just say, "Oh, it'll choke you and you'll be dead in like 4 minutes or whatever." But they don't
the way
explain what
he,
it
like,
is.
when he's like dying, I guess at the end, it looks like he's suffocating. So I was
Yeah.
like,
I don't. Maybe
what
it's
would
not
make
oxygen.
you
Maybe it's
what
like
would make you suffocate? But like
anything but oxygen.
pretty much. Well, like I mean, like that though. I mean, he doesn't like. It doesn't look like it's some sort of gas or anything because that would, like,
Yeah,
I mean,
it would just ruin his lungs if it was
Yeah.
like fucking nitrogen or
So I'm-
helium or fucking like sulfur or something. I think it's
Yeah. So we need
They
some.
don't-
I need some information on why
What
they
is
can't
the-
breathe.
What is the percentages in this atmosphere? What are we looking at? Like a 5% oxygen, 100 50% nitrogen. Like, what is?
I mean, I guess that could be it.
Like, yeah,
And maybe their
like-
atmosphere is thinner or something. I don't know. Everything
I
looks
don't
pretty
know.
damn green though, and there's
Because,
a lot
like,
of bioluminescence.
I think it's just something in the atmosphere that we can't handle, because every time they open a door, it looks like they open up an oven door and it does a because it's like, hey, that's the air you're not supposed to breathe.
Don't
Let's
breathe
get
that
that
in.
point across.
But also, it's not toxic enough to kill you if you're out in it without a mask.
Only
like
if you
as long
breathe
as
it.
you hold your breath.
Yeah, so it's just not good for your lungs. But I mean, I guess
Well,
we
it's
don't really
not that it's
breathe
not
through our
good.
skin like frogs.
It's
so
not that it's not good for your lungs. It's just like
you'll
because the way it kind of reminded me of like Total Recall, the way he was like couldn't breathe except for his eyes weren't popping out. But then I was like, well, how would that work? Like because they're breathing something, you know?
Yeah, I think it's just a low level of oxygen, but the majority of it is probably just like toxic to us as
I need
humans.
to know
but
that
not to
Avatar
Navi.
lore. Anybody know
Yeah.
that?
I just need the science of what's their atmosphere
Yeah.
made of.
Yeah.
Why is that not in the director's cut?
Yeah. Because you needed to see him be a degenerate in a bar first. It's great because he
Now
gets
look at
thrown
him, he's
out. They throw him out, and he's
couldn't just
crippled.
wheel
They,
him
yeah,
out?
no. They pick him up. They whip his ass out the door and throw his wheelchair on him, and it lands on him. And I thought maybe they were gonna do something with this, but when those dudes walk up on him and he's laying there in the street, he is straight up posed like Jesus.
Oh,
Arms out, fucking feet crossed. And I was like, symbolism much? I'm like, what the hell? I'm like, come on, dude. Don't do
Get it?
that.
Get it?
He was like the second coming of Jesus.
Oh, he's gonna put his braid in me, and that's gonna be a second coming of something. That's for sure.
Oh.
During the fight, Robot pulls out a knife, and he's like, "Nothing's over while I'm breathing." But the one thing I hate, a lot of movies do this too, is why the bad guys always have to move so slow when they obviously have the killing blow.
Yeah.
Like he's got him, and he's like pulls out the knife all slow out of the thing behind him. He's like, "I'm gonna take my time, enough time for this lady to get out and shoot me with an arrow," instead of just being
Twice.
like, done.
Yeah.
Like every movie, it's always like, "I got you now." Before this, I was really fast in fighting you, but now that you have no
Now
advantage, I'm gonna walk
take
up
my
real
sweet time killing you. That's the only explanation I can give these guys is like, oh, I'm sadistic and I'm gonna take my time killing you.
I appreciate it in movies.
Other
I can't
than
think of a
that.
specific moment, but I've seen it in movies where like the bad guy is like that and it's just boom and done.
Just walks up and psh, and I would
Yeah.
like, and I was thinking about that the other day, and I'm like, you know what? I wish there were more movies. Maybe you and me could start making movies where the bad guy just wins and the movie's over.
Yeah, done. Roll credits.
Yeah, I want to see
Realistic.
more movies like that.
Yeah.
You know, and there's not a happy ending, and you're not left feeling like, oh, it's all summed up, and you're like, oh fuck, dude.
That was a bummer, bro.
Yeah, you're like, yeah, that's what you get because you've been, because you had to have some guy narrating to you through a movie.
You can't handle that. Guess what? Not gonna be a happy ending.
Yeah, that's what you guys get.
So Jake Sully is going to do the process of taking the USB cord into his neck and transferring his
jacking
data.
into the.
That's what I imagine is. And then you see it's kind of like hackers, and it's like you can
Yeah.
see the inside of the tree, and he's like, "I'm in."
Yeah.
So he's gonna do that, and of course, I don't know if it was his actual birthday or if he's like, "It's my birthday."
I think
it's my
think
birthday today because it's my new birthday.
that's
Get
what I
it?
think he meant. I think it was supposed to be like that. It was dumb.
And how neatly it's summed up of like, "Oh, we won." And all the aliens went home. Now he calls them aliens. All the aliens went home
Yeah.
without any, and there's only the chosen were left to stay of humans.
Yeah, he should have been
Like,
left
it's
in
just
human form, man.
wrapped up. That's it. Everyone went home.
Yeah,
We
like
won
they're
the
not
war.
going to come back.
Exactly.
Like you really think that they're not going to come back?
I mean,
You don't think that like when these guys show up at Earth and they're like, "Well, what the hell are you guys doing back here? What happened?" Oh, well,
the Ewoks got us. They fucking threw sticks and rocks at us with logs that crushed our ATST walkers. We
Yeah.
ran back with our tails between our legs.
Yeah.
We couldn't
One-
handle it, sir.
One of them somehow had some grenades and a gun.
Yeah. One of them.
Yeah.
It's my birthday today. Oh boy, I hope he wakes up. I don't know if he will. The camera's zooming in on his eyes.
Oh, do you
He
think there's going to be a
does.
2? There is going to be a 2, everybody.
There's 6 movies. There are 6 movies. This came out 2009, and the second one is coming out next year. And he wants to do fucking 4 more of those. About what? The next one is just about water. I don't know. It's got water in the title. Like, guarantee that Zoe Saldana's character fucking dies, because I only see her in one part of the trailer. I don't see her in any other part of the trailer. So it's definitely going to be like, oh, a dad loses his wife and now he's got to raise his daughter on his own. For some reason, they have a human as a pet. I don't know. It looks dumb. I'm sorry, Avatar fans. But yeah, 6. He wants to make 6 movies.
How do you stretch
And he's
that
only
out?
on number 2.
Yeah, Jesus Christ. You got to have goals, though, you know?
Hey, I appreciate you, Jim. You got the long run going on.
Seriously, Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
How are you going to stretch that out? All right, I'm curious.
Yeah.
I'm curious. I want to see the rest of them.
Yeah.
Now that I've seen this
Well,
one.
we're going to be 100 years old by the time the 4th one comes out, so I don't think we're going to be able to watch
He's
it.
going to be a cyborg.
Yeah. He's going to get into his avatar, which is just a bigger blue version of James Cameron. And he's like, okay, well, it's time to direct movies now.
You guys want to touch braids?
Yeah. What? Boom. Hey,
Yeah.
do you crave cool shit like us? Because we crave movies and we do reviews about it.
Yep.
But you might have a different craving for other stuff of nerds type. I'm doing really well at this. Dane, take it away.
All
Finish
right.
it off.
And if you got to satisfy that craving, you're going to head on over to Project Nerd. That's project-nerd.com. And you're going to find us there. And you're going to find like horror stuff and cosplay stuff and all kinds of nerdy videos. I mean, if you're watching this and you're a nerd, that's where you belong.
Come on down. Just come on down.
Yeah.
That's all I got to say.
Come to projectnerd.com.
Project-nerd.com. Check it out. We're really good at promos. Thank you very much. Let's rate this shit.
Yes. Okay. I'm going to say that this probably wasn't the worst movie we watched on here. I would be interested to have you watch the director's cut because I'm wondering if I'm missing some scenes. Since you've seen the OG theatrical, which I thought I was watching.
Yeah.
I don't feel like it added much more considering like I can't really think of anything else because the big stuff was him being in the bar in the beginning, which was just really kind of led up to nothing except for him being posed as Jesus in the end of it. So I mean, I guess they're setting him up as like, like I just don't understand why they would set him up as like Jesus. Anyway, not the worst movie I've ever seen compared to like all the shit we've been watching this season. And I don't know, it's a Jim Cameron movie. It is what it is. For, again, there's earlier movies that are way better than this. And I know that it's going to be stretched out into 6 movies. It's just like, Jesus Christ. I have a feeling that the first one is going to probably be the best one out of all of them. So I'm going to give it a...
He's really good with sequels, though, man, sometimes.
Well, that's true. Maybe
Yeah,
Avatar
so
2 could be like...
Yeah.
It could be like...
It could be the Terminator 2.
I know, I was about to say that. I'm like, I'm going to stretch it here and say it could be like Terminator 2. I'm stretching it, though. I'm going to see it. I have to now. But this one, I'm going to give a 6.5 wiener braids out of 10.
Mm-hmm. Good. Yeah, not the worst movie we've watched during this season. It looks good. I mean, that's the whole point of it. It looks fucking good. It was like pretty groundbreaking and in its style. It was good to look at. I don't like the white savior aspect of it. A lot of movies are guilty of it. Some movies I really like, but this is definitely one of those ones of like, oh, an outsider white person is going to come into our world and save the fucking day and become one of us. Like it's just that trope. It's happened quite a lot. It's one of the big parts of this movie that I'm like, no thanks, I'm good, dude. End of the day, it's Jim Cameron. It's fun to look at. It's got good parts. Not as shitty as I remember it being, because I've grown up. So I too, Dana and I's braids have been connected this whole time. I'm gonna give it 6.5 penis braids, and I'm gonna insert T-Rex sound there. And then we're gonna get in trouble for copyright infringement or some shit.
Man, if you didn't get in trouble for it, then we're not gonna get in trouble for it.
That's goddamn right. But yeah, I mean,
not awful, you know.
It's
and
just
I think maybe it was, for me, it was really overhyped.
Yeah,
because I pretty much resisted this movie for like months, and I didn't bother seeing it, and because I was like, oh, you know, eventually I'll see it, and everybody just kept, oh my god, it's like the greatest thing ever. I think, and here's where it really screws up for me when people go, I think that you are really going to like this. I'm like, please don't say that to me, please.
You don't know what I'm gonna like.
And it's not even that they don't know what I like. It's just at that point, my brain has this like, it's like it has a predisposition to just not like it.
Oh, you think I'm gonna fuck you? I'm not gonna like that.
And it's not even like intentional, because I'm like,
Yeah.
and it's probably because I'm expecting like, wow, this movie's gonna fucking blow me away, and I'm gonna be
Yeah.
like coming back and be like, you guys were fucking right, you know. But not once has that happened to me.
Yeah.
So when people start going crazy about, I'm like, just tell me about a movie that you thought was really cool, and I will go check it out.
Yeah, I mean, there was a lot of hype around it, and I think the only thing good that came out of it was the effects and the technology.
That was cool.
Like the story is so bland and predictable because we've seen it with Pocahontas and Dances with Wolves, that I feel if they didn't do that, I think it'd have been a lot bigger of a deal.
Right.
But this movie, like, other than the effects, is very forgettable. Like, I don't remember a lot of what happened when the first
Yeah,
time. I was watching, I was like, I don't remember this. Also, it's way too long. But like, make it a different story, and it could have been a hell of a lot cooler.
Well, see, that's where I kind of maybe have a little bit of hope for the second one.
Yeah, because maybe it's not about.
I hope what it doesn't do is it takes place like years and years and years, so the humans are back. You know,
Yeah.
like I kind of hope that it doesn't involve humans at all.
Yeah.
Like it'd be cool if it just took place on Pandora, and now he's living the Avatar life. Well, he's not an Avatar anymore. He's
living the Na'vi life, dude.
Yeah.
Na'vis.
Live your best Na'vi life.
Yeah. Put your braid into anything you can get your hands on.
Yeah. If it's got a braid too, it's good enough for you.
If
That
it's got a
rhymes.
braid hole, put it in. Enjoy your Na'vi life.
Yeah.
Next week is our last week in the Podcasters Anonymous program.
We'll have graduated, I guess.
Yeah, and maybe won't have to sit outside in a fucking alleyway next to garbage.
Yeah, because this kind of sucks.
It stinks. I'm gonna say it stinks.
Yeah.
In a literal sense, and also in the sense of like, God, this fucking stinks. So like,
Yeah,
it has two
yeah,
meanings right now.
yeah.
It stinks.
Yeah.
But until next week, season finale. This has been fantastic, folks. For Two Guys One Film, I'm Dylan.
And I'm Dane.
See you next time.
That was Two Guys, One Film, our very own podcast, and it was part of Project Nerd Web Fest. Again, next year, expect to see a whole bunch more podcasts, not just ours, but others too, as part of the Project Nerd Web Fest. That's right, I said next year. Be ready. You be ready. All right, guys, we're almost done. Guys and gals, we're almost done with our 2023 Project Nerd Film Festival here as I wrap us up. One more time, everybody clap, like clap. I know you can't hear in this microphone, but I can hear you. I can hear you. Our best pilot, Lost the Lead. Best web series, Lycan Movies. Best short film, Roller. Best animated film, Post-Apocalyptic, Colorado. Craft Cinema Award goes to Demon for Hire. the Audience Choice Award Hysteric, and our Best in Show FP Forevs. That's right, 7 fantastic movies. We are so excited. Everything that was a part of the film festival. So great submissions too. If you're a filmmaker, a podcaster, a web series host, a whatever, you're involved in any of these projects, head on over to projectnerd.com. That's project-nerd.com. You can keep an eye out for when the submissions open for Project Nerd Film Festival 2024. Fair prices to submit. Select as many movies as you can. We're going to open up even bigger next year. Stay tuned for that. If you just want to see our beautiful faces, we'll be in Omaha next month, July, Ocon Expo. That's right. You can also catch us at Tall Grass Film Festival in October. That's where you'll see our beautiful faces. We'll be live streaming in Tall Grass all weekend. Make sure you tune right here to Project Nerd. One last time, thank you to all of these amazing sponsors that made Project Nerd Film Festival 2023 possible. If you are interested in sponsoring PNFF 24, that would be 2024, head on over to our website and click the link, or you can just email us. Just find a way to get in touch with us. I'll take your money. All right. We're signing out. I guess one last shout out. I don't know. I said I couldn't find a video for him. I brought him up earlier in there, but I do want to shout out again to the Origin Hotel Westminster. Beautiful, wonderful venue, incredible staff, very friendly, delicious food, and a very nice room where we were able to screen all of these films. It was fun. It was beautiful. It was great. They gave us a great rate on rooms too. So if we do there again next year, make a weekend of it. Come stay in the room and enjoy it there. But as well, thank you to Tattered Cover Bookstore for letting us set up next door to do those interviews. Stay tuned to our YouTube and our website over the next few weeks as those filmmaker interviews will be popping up there. All right, guys, that's it. Project Nerd Film Festival is over for 2023. We will be back next year. But in the meantime, stay classy, nerds. Bye. Thanks, everybody.